Oh, session is recording. Okay. Now, let me tell you what we're gonna do today. I hope I hope a lot of you were also present in the previous session, because this session is a continuation of the present of the last session. We discussed the framework, we discussed a problem statement. I gave it to people to also attempt it, because I know if you can do a good take on that problem statement, it is like a kick ass case study. Kick ass case study. It is the kind of case study that we want people to make when it comes to doing concept projects. ठीक है, somebody was discussing in the career anatomy group today कि sir concept project करेंगे तो recruiters को तो work X वाले project चाहिए होते हैं, right? But not everybody is lucky enough to get good projects in their current organization. But what do you do when you're not lucky to get good quality projects in your current organization? You do high quality concept projects. But then फिर वही बात है, concept project बनाने के नाम पे अगर तुम डेटिंग ऐप फॉर डॉग्स बनाने लगोगे, राइट? तो ऐसी चीजें करोगे तो फिर तो कहाँ ही जॉब लगेगी, है ना? टिंडर फॉर डॉग्स, उबर फॉर एक्स, वो क्लीशे आइडियाज पे काम करोगे तो फिर तो नहीं होने वाला, है ना? तो इसीलिए अच्छे प्रोजेक्ट्स, if somebody just watches these two sessions, takes their time, especially today's session is going to be literally an eye opener for a lot of you कि एआई के साथ में काम कैसे कर सकते हो. ठीक है, अभी भी विल हैव अ प्रोटोटाइप. ठीक है, बट मजा आएगा देख करके, तुम्हें भी लगेगा कि हाँ यार, मतलब ये तरीका भी हो सकता है एआई के साथ में काम करने का. ठीक है, somebody asked will this be available in YouTube? Yes. व्यूज भी तो चाहिए, मोनेटाइजेशन का पैसा भी तो चाहिए ना. इतनी मेहनत कर रहे हैं, अगर फ्री वर्कशॉप हम कर रहे हैं तो एट द वेरी लीस्ट यूट्यूब हमें यू नो 500,000 रुपए देगा, कुछ तो हमें वैल्यू मिलेगी इस टाइम की. ठीक है, बट एनीवेज बिफोर वी गो अहेड, द रीजन वी आर डूइंग दिस सेशन इन गूगल मीट is because this session I wanted actually people to interact with us. ठीक है, I asked some people के तुम करके आना. I think 3 or 4 people are also ready. They wanted to show their work. So we'll also be discussing it. This session is more practical. First session was more theoretical, right? Where I teach you something. In this session, I'm expecting some of you would have done something, and then they would have come and we will see their work. That is why we are doing this session in Meet. ठीक है, वरना मैं YouTube पे डालता तो मेरे को बहुत सारे वॉच आवर्स मिल जाते. ठीक है, फ्री के मेरे को 500,000 वॉच आवर्स मिल जाते. ठीक है, बट वी आर डूइंग इट बिकॉज सो दैट वी कैन हैव एन इंटीमेट डिस्कशन हियर. ठीक है, चलो. आई एम स्टिल जस्ट शॉक्ड. व्हाई डू वी हैव जस्ट लाइक व्हाट 260 पीपल? अभी भी लोगों को वैल्यू ही नहीं है चीजों की. देख रहा है वंश क्या हो रहा है? लास्ट सेशन बाय दिस टाइम वी हैड लाइक 400-500 पीपल, बट एनीवेज इट्स देयर लॉस. चलो, ठीक है. एग्जैक्टली, सी सौरभ अंडरस्टैंड्स. ठीक है, या नहीं, हमारे मतलब दैट इज द प्लान. यस, दैट इज द मैसेज फ्रॉम द टीम. यस, मतलब मेरी टीम ऐसे बात करती है. आई नो, हमने ही डायरेक्टिव सेट किए हैं. एंड आई ऑल्सो टेल यू व्हाई, बिकॉज चलो ठीक है, मैं तुम लोगों को बता देता हूं क्यों हमने बोला कि 9 PM तक कर देना है. मोस्ट ऑफ यू वुड बी लाइक के आज करता हूं, कल करता हूं. ठीक है, फिर तुम नहीं करोगे, फिर तुम कुछ दिनों बाद जागोगे. एवरी कोहॉर्ट वी एडमिट एटलीस्ट 5 to 7 people. ठीक है, एटलीस्ट 5 to 7 people वी एडमिट इन एवरी कोहॉर्ट इन week 1 and 2. ठीक है, दे आर लाइक सर वो एक्चुअली में मैंने तो फॉर्म भर दिया था, बट आई फॉरगॉट. एंड देन फिर एक्चुअली थोड़ा सा वो लेट हो गया और फिर मैं भूल गया. बट क्लासेस अभी मेरी छूट गई है, बट कैन आई एक्चुअली स्टिल कवर दिस, ब्ला ब्ला ब्ला. एवरी कोहॉर्ट, in the first cohort we admitted somebody in the third week, and मैंने तो बोल दिया था, मैंने कहा भाई you won't be able to cover, it's okay. But I know, right, people don't have that conviction. तो इसीलिए we have a very strict deadline. If we reach out to you and we are in discussion with you, you have to pay immediately and get in. Otherwise we have a list, right? We have a very small team that can take care of sales, and we don't run behind people, by the way. We don't run behind people. If you're talking to you, you're getting priority, you pay right now. If you can't pay, it's okay, right? If you can't pay, it's okay. We won't run behind you. But again, if the cohort is filled, because I'm the only teacher, I don't take infinite students, right? So every cohort we reject at least 30 to 50 students. We reject कि नहीं, you are not a fit for this cohort, ठीक है, कि नहीं बनेगी हमारी. तो इसीलिए मतलब वी आर लाइक नहीं, अगर कर रहे हैं अभी हम तुमसे बात, इफ यू फील कि नहीं सही टाइम है तो फिर जल्दी करो. यू पे राइट नाउ, गेट योर सीट, अदरवाइज विल मूव टू समबडी एल्स. ठीक है, हमारा बहुत ही क्लियर है ये. सो यस, दैट मैसेज वाज फ्रॉम आवर टीम. Vishakha is like, what if I could not attend last session? Vishakha, I knew there would be some people के जो बोलेंगे I could not attend last session. So yes, मैंने इस सेशन को इस तरह से प्लान किया है कि अगर तुम नहीं भी कर सकोगे, करे पिछला सेशन, तो भी मैं कनेक्ट करके ही चलूंगा. डोंट वरी. As a teacher, I know this happens always. We are building. It's like last session से ही हम rebuild कर रहे हैं. ठीक है, चिंता मत करो. It's just that people who have attended ना, मजा ही आ जाएगा उनको. Sebin is like, will we discuss about generative AI? Sebin, in today's session, generative UI बहुत आगे की चीज है, ठीक है. That's a very specific topic. मतलब ठीक है, आज हम जो करने वाले हैं, हम अभी ट्रू प्रोडक्ट थिंकिंग, कोर प्रोडक्ट थिंकिंग के बारे में बात करने वाले हैं. ठीक है, कि एग्जैक्टली प्रोडक्ट थिंकिंग का कोर क्या है, एंड हाउ कैन यू ट्रूली स्टार्ट यूजिंग एआई, हाउ आई वुड यूज एआई. अगर आपको ऑलरेडी पता है वो सारी चीजें तो भी बहुत बढ़िया है. ठीक है, बट अगेन इट्स लाइक माय टेक ऑन हाउ वुड आई अप्रोच इनकॉर्पोरेटिंग प्रोडक्ट थिंकिंग इन माय करंट वर्कफ्लो. मैं अभी कैसे काम कर रहा हूं वैसे मैं बताऊंगा. ठीक है, ऋतिक, वैभव, कमिटमेंट देखो भाई, बंदा ऑटो में जा रहा है फिर भी कैमरा ऑन करके बैठा है. दिस इज द कमिटमेंट भाई. ऐसे ही रखना है, ऐसे ही रखना है, और क्या यार. यू गाइज वुड नो, in my session there is one rule. In my live classes also, and there are so many students here, right now in the session from my live session, live cohorts, you don't get to ask questions if you can't even turn on your camera. अनम आ गई, देखो अनम को भी पता है. अगर तुम कैमरा नहीं ऑन कर सकते, इट्स सिंपल राइट. इफ यू कांट शो अप इन द क्लास, ठीक है, आई एम नॉट देयर फॉर यू. ठीक है, करण इज फ्रॉम कोहॉर्ट 1, अनम इज फ्रॉम कोहॉर्ट 2, और भी बहुत सारे लोग हैं. ठीक है, तो इसीलिए whoever is gonna turn on their camera will actually get attention, and this is something that we will follow. ठीक है, कि अगर you have a doubt, तो you will have to turn on your camera and then ask. ठीक है, let me quickly set up the layout of the meeting, okay, and we'll begin in a few seconds. Let me, I want to see more and more people. ठीक है, I hope Google prioritizes people who turn on their cameras. ठीक है, चलो. How many of you, apart from my permanent like students, how many of you have attended any of my previous workshops? Career anatomy, interview anatomy, portfolio anatomy. Okay. हाँ, हैंड रेज करोगे चलेगा. यस, मजा है. ओके, इंटरेस्टिंग. अरे अरे अरे, बहुत सारे लोग हैं. गुड गुड गुड. तो आई एम अज्यूमिंग दैट यू गाइज लाइक द कंटेंट दैट आई पुट आउट, दैट्स व्हाई यू आर हियर. कैन आई अज्यूम इट? इज दैट अ फॉल्स assumption? चलो ठीक है, चलो. थैंक यू सो मच. Jamin Gagia, that's such an interesting name, man. Jamin, very interesting name, yaar. Amazing. Okay, ठीक है, you guys can like put your hands down. I'll start in a minute now. ठीक है, because we've already kind of taken enough time. Now, there are few rules for the session. ठीक है, some of you are sitting at home, some of you are traveling here and there. ठीक है, no matter what, during the session, please no unnecessary talking in the chat. ठीक है, if you do it, we'll disable the chat. This I'm letting you know already. If you do it, if I see unnecessary random shit going on in the chat, I will disable it. ठीक है, the goal here is I'm trying to focus. ठीक है, I have the chat open because sometimes कुछ ना कुछ problem हो जाता है, तो it's important to have the chat in front of me, but I won't be able to focus if I keep on seeing random things going on there. ठीक है, तो आराम से बैठो, कॉपी पेन लेकर के बैठो, मन करे तो, नहीं तो जस्ट सुनो बैठ करके. ठीक है, बट नो अननेसेसरी चैटिंग. ठीक है, बिकॉज हम ट्विच स्ट्रीमर्स या वो नहीं, हम तन्मय भट्ट की ऑडियंस नहीं है. ठीक है, कि हम चैट में कुछ ना कुछ करते जा रहे हैं. ये तन्मय भट्ट वाला एनवायरनमेंट नहीं है. ठीक है, आई एम गोना गिव यू समथिंग that most people don't get access to, right? जो लोग मेरे जैसे लोग, जो किस्मत जिनकी अच्छी थी, जिन्हें अच्छी कंपनीज में जाने को मिल गया, राइट, जिन्हें मिल गया, तो मैं कोशिश कर रहा हूं कि भाई जितना हो सके ये चीजें आप लोगों के पास तक जा पाए, ठीक है? तो आई वुड hope that you would respect that effort. In case you're not finding value in the session, in case the things that we're talking about you already know them, feel free to leave, okay? But please make sure that the environment for the session is preserved, it's preserved well for everybody who is actually interested in learning, okay? Shibani is like, my camera is not working, can I keep it off for the session? You can keep it off for the session, but for your questions will only be picked up from the chat, and chat gets last precedence. First people with the camera on will get precedence. I'll try to answer all questions, okay? Now let me quickly start the session, okay? Let's go focus mode now, okay? Keep the cameras on because I'm still seeing your faces here. The presentation is here. Chalo. Okay, can you guys give me a confirmation if you're able to see the presentation, if you're able to see the screen? Okay, amazing. Now this thing that you're seeing, right, today's presentation, today's entire session has a demo and a presentation, and I've only used Claude for this, okay? There is a different reason behind this. By the end of the session it will be clear to some of you, and then I'll re-explain it, okay? Why am I doing this specifically in this way? Jaldi se karte hain. And there are so many nuances in the in the session today, okay? So sometimes you might see me also trying to remember stuff, okay? Because I'm gonna walk you through a very long journey. I haven't memorized the presentation, so you will notice me trying to remember things कि ओ इस जगह पर reasoning क्या था, ठीक है? Just be patient with it. आराम से बैठ करके 1-1.5 घंटा ही लगेगा, आराम से बैठ करके सुनना है. चलो, let's begin. So what did we start with in the last session? In the last session, we started with a with a problem statement. Okay, and that is PhonePe. Right now, it should have around 600 million or 550 to 560 million verified users who have done the KYC. Okay, KYC कर दिया है लोगों ने. KYC is important because KYC completion itself is a very important task for all fintech apps. Okay, so any product that has been able to force 500 million plus people to do KYC has already achieved a big task. PhonePe has the largest verified registered user database in India. Okay, no company in India, even Amazon, does not have a verified user base like this. That's a feat in itself. The problem here is PhonePe has 500 million registered users, but very few people are coming to use their paid product offerings. PhonePe is mainly known for UPI payments, but UPI payments does not make money for PhonePe. That is why PhonePe as a fintech product has to rely on other business models to make money. One of the biggest money making business models for PhonePe is RCBP, which is recharges and bill payments. Okay, it used to be a pod inside PhonePe. We used to call it RCBP pod, recharges and bill payments. That's the most money making pod. I think second was insurance. Okay, that was the second most money making pod. Now, I know for a fact that some of us would be using PhonePe for recharges and bill payments, but very few people would be using them for insurance or any other task later on, right? A lot of us would be using PhonePe for UPI payments. We go there, we go away. Now, as a business owner, you're faced with a challenge, and that is you have such a big audience, but you're not able to monetize all of them. So what are you doing? You're actually looking for meaningful product offerings that you can plug into your product and then give value to your audience and then receive value in the end. Okay? In this value exchange, when this value exchange happens, that's when business is created. Okay? So now PhonePe for this value exchange has been trying a lot of things, right? A lot of things. Everything that is other than UPI payment is basically there to help PhonePe make money. Okay, everything else. Now, one of those offerings is Gold SIP feature. If you go to PhonePe homepage currently, you scroll up. After 1.5 folds, you will find a feature called invest in gold or daily gold, weekly gold, something like that, right? They keep on changing the copy, but that's basically gold SIP. Just like you invest in, yeah, just like you invest in mutual funds at a frequency, you can also invest in paper gold via PhonePe. That's the feature. Now, how many of you were actually aware that this feature exists in PhonePe right now? Just a quick raise of hand. किसे किसे पता था कि ये फीचर एग्जिस्ट करता है? 3, 5, 15, 17. ओ 34 भी हो गया. We still are like at 10% of our audience right now. Okay, okay, you guys can put your hands down. Thank you. Now imagine we are actually informed consumers, right? We are mature consumers because we are designers. We have been looking at PhonePe curiously, and that's why we know. But a big part of the world does not even know that this feature exists, which means anything after this, when the discovery is down, anything after this is another battle to fight. Now, if most of the people अरे रे वर्कशॉप वाले लोगों को आंसर नहीं करना था, उसके पहले से किसको किसको पता था, राइट? सो या डिस्कवरी इटसेल्फ इज गॉन नाउ. Anything after that, business building is not possible now. ठीक है? So that's why PhonePe now needs some sort of solution for this. ठीक है? PhonePe needs a solution for getting more business out of this gold SIP feature. Now the thing is that in a business, there's like a funnel which starts from discovery. Okay, then you go to acquisition. Okay, then you go to activation, then you go to retention, referral, revenue, all of these things, right? That's the business growth funnel. Discovery itself is gone, so business to hone wala nahi hai. But for this specific case study, we decided out of the, let's just say 10%, 5% people who do know about gold SIP, we will try to convert them. We'll try to get them to do an SIP in us, right? In PhonePe. We are all PhonePe designers right now. So become designer. Okay? You're working at PhonePe right now. Rather than just improving the onboarding like that, right, without any context, I added some constraints, some added information on this, and that is, we decided, okay, you know what, let's try to imagine this is Diwali. Okay, yeah, let's imagine this is Diwali time, because in Diwali people are usually more susceptible to invest in gold. We will use that positive sentiment to come up with a new experience, some changes in the experience to encourage people to invest in gold SIP. Okay, fair enough, right? Gold SIP, it makes sense also. If you are a product manager or a designer at PhonePe, you would also be thinking कि यार लोग बाहर पे अगर gold में invest कर रहे हैं, right? If people are investing just like that in raw gold or in gold jewelry, where they're investing or wasting a lot of money in making charges, they can accumulate a lot more gold in the same amount of money if they invest in our platforms. So it's a noble offering. ऐसा भी नहीं है कि we are going to do anything unethical. ठीक है? It's gold. Gold में सबको invest करना चाहिए. So now it's a valuable feature where we can already see that there is a good enough value exchange. This is what we kind of decided in the last class. I also showed people 4 personas. In fact, 5 personas. Let me quickly show you. Okay? Now, oh, there was one very important takeaway from the session, which is generic onboarding always optimizes for completion. Okay? But great onboarding will optimize for conviction. This is the guiding principle if you want to design good, high quality onboarding experiences. And dhyan rakhna, in every product, the biggest drop off happens at onboarding. Okay? People download your app, open it, don't finish onboarding. The biggest drop off. Okay? So now we are gonna understand, like we're gonna use this philosophy to optimize the onboarding. Saurabh, no questions please. बहुत लंबा सेशन है, अभी बहुत टाइम है अभी हमारे पास में, ठीक है, हम लेंगे सबके क्वेश्चन लेंगे, चिंता मत करो। चलो नाउ ये बात आराम से फील करो इससे पहले, ठीक है, एंड देन गोइंग फॉरवर्ड आई वुड सजेस्ट यू वन थिंग, try to go to your favorite product where you already have an account and you've been using it for a long time. Go and delete your account so that you can experience the onboarding again, or create another account in that product from another email ID and see if their onboarding is optimizing for completion or it is optimizing for conviction. This is how you will start learning, okay, onboarding ke liye. And this principle is so much important for us, right? Gold is going to be a high commitment decision. We can't just give users a fast flow to jaldi jaldi come and invest. Yeah, that's what I'm doing, Satyam, which is because gold is a high commitment, high stakes commitment. People are usually interested in buying gold either from their local shops where people they trust, where they can hold the gold in their hands, right? There is an emotional attachment to gold, or they would prefer to invest from platforms like Grow, Zerodha, which are serious investment platforms. Very few people would have the conviction to invest in gold from PhonePe. And that's why it's a conviction decision. You need people, you need to win their trust. Okay? You need to win their trust. Give them that conviction that it is not just good to invest in gold. PhonePe is the platform where you should be doing a gold SIP. So there are like two layers here. Okay? That's what conviction means here. How do you convince them कि PhonePe से करूं? ठीक है? चलो. And again, not for completion. Why? Because I can just give them one screen ka journey, which is the current journey. The current journey at PhonePe is only optimizing for completion. If you click on that option, you will immediately see a screen with an input field, which is like a give me the amount, click, jaldi se invest kar do. That's not how you're going to invest, because it's like it's the money that will keep on deducting from your account. It's an SIP. It's a high commitment decision. So, which means this is an opportunity that PhonePe has missed right now. Now, they might have a lot of reasons. Okay? They might have a lot of reasons, but then exactly, you have to tell people कि भाई ये है क्या? One click में सीधे पैसा दे दो मेरे को, right? That's optimizing for completion, which is the shortest journey. And conviction is another thing. So sometimes you have to optimize for completion also, by the way, but sometimes you have to optimize for conviction. In this case, we're optimizing for conviction. Okay? Chalo. Satyam again, no questions. I won't be able to take questions. Okay? I'll be able to take questions in the end. ठीक है, थोड़ा फ्लो टूट जाता है यार. तू तो आता रहता है सेशंस में, फिर भी पूछ रहा है. तेरे क्वेश्चन के रिप्लाई तो मैं इंस्टाग्राम पे भी करता रहता हूँ, फिर भी अभी भी देखो मान नहीं रहे. ये इतने डाउट पूछता है मुझे इंस्टाग्राम में, लगातार मैं इसके मैसेज का रिप्लाई करता रहता हूँ, फिर भी देखो अभी भी. गुड क्यूरियोसिटी. चलो. नाउ who are we actually designing for? Okay, now I'm gonna cut short a little bit, right? The journey. Who are we actually designing for is the question here. Because again, imagine PhonePe users are like 55 to 60 crore people. गांव में PhonePe के यूजर हैं. अब मैं किसी किसान को तो नहीं बोलूंगा कि भाई गोल्ड में SIP कर लो, उसके पास में भाई गेहूं उगाने का पैसा नहीं है, ठीक है. But there are a few clear set of users who we can target. ठीक है. Now, what we will do is we will take this as a question. Okay, so question, prompt, output, and review. This is the framework that we're going to follow in today's session. Write it down. Whoever is serious, write it down. The framework that we're going to use today and that you should be using to interact with AI to do product thinking and designing is question, prompt, output, review. Right now, we have a question. Who are we actually designing for? So we're going to ask AI to give us a persona. Okay? AI has good enough data. Like 2026, AI is amazing. Okay? It is reliable now. Like it is proper human replacement. Okay? So now we're going to ask this question to AI. What did I do? I had this prompt. Okay, I had this prompt and I gave this prompt to AI. And by the way, ये prompt, this entire demo, I can copy and give this link to you right now, but I'll give it to you in the end of the session. Okay, so you will have access to this entire freaking demo. Now, there's a prompt that I have. You are a senior designer at a company. Okay, context, product, user, compliances, data available hai nahi, right? Then your task, generate n distinct user personas for this feature, segment by emotional readiness, not demographics. This is also a very important highlight from previous session. Most people try to make personas based on demography, and that is why your personas are never relevant. Core personas are, sorry, good personas, right, are based on emotional readiness, cultural context, and your relationship with that, like the relationship of that user with that product category. Okay, then for each persona define these things. Okay, so there is a good prompt, and then output structure does JSON. This is the prompt that I gave. Okay, then I got output. What is the output that I got? I got this output. Now I got 5 personas: first time buyer, okay, festive buyer, anxious planner, the optimizer, and the lapsed user. In the last workshop, we only had the top 4 personas. Last is the new one. Okay, but this is actually such a good persona. Matlab, having been there in PhonePe, even though most of my work was in design systems, but I used to be very actively discussing with all the UX designers, right? तो I know कि ये बहुत accurate persona है हमारे लिए. मतलब ये 5 persona पे मैं फोन पे में back to back case studies बना सकता हूँ, इतना accurate है ये. ठीक है? First time buyer, people who are buying gold for the first time. These are the people who are feeling financially responsible. Okay, but what is the fear? And again, this is just the summary, by the way. Here you go back to the previous session, you'll get more details. You use the prompt, you'll get more details. But core cheese, what's their goal or the job to be done? They want to feel financially responsible. What is the fear that they have? What is stopping them? It's the fear of making a mistake, because they are a first time buyer. Every first time buyer has a fear of making a mistake, and gold is a high commitment decision. So again, we have to eventually optimize for conviction. So we're already starting to go deeper. Then what is the festive buyer? Festive buyers want to honor the tradition. These are people who are like, यार फेस्टिवल में गोल्ड तो बनता है, अक्षय तृतीया में घर पे एक सोने का या चांदी का सिक्का नहीं आया तो मजा नहीं आया, राइट? These are people you can actually convince. 10,000 का गोल्ड कॉइन इतना सा होता है. लिटरली फोन पे से जेप्टो से गोल्ड कॉइन हम सेल कर रहे थे, राइट? इतना सा था हमारा गोल्ड कॉइन 9999 का. इट्स बेयरली अ कॉइन. ठीक है, इट्स अ पेबल, बट 10,000 रुपए, राइट? बट there are people who want to honor the tradition, right? Even my parents ask me कि पैसे तो है ना अब तो तुम्हारे पास में, गोल्ड खरीद लो, दिवाली आ गई है, धनतेरस है, अक्षय तृतीया पे. So the festive buyer wants to honor the tradition. Yeah, sorry, Sundar. I'll try to keep just mother tongue slips here sometimes. Sorry. Okay. Now for the festive buyer, the friction is digital gold doesn't feel real. This person wants to have that Ganesh Lakshmi coin, put it in the temple, right? But right now you have an idea immediately, right? Their problem, digital gold does not feel real. What is the idea here, guys? Can somebody quickly type this in the chat? How can we address this in the product later on? I know some of you are thinking already. Quickly. Somebody type, yaar. We can build an interaction. No, we can build an interaction inside the product, right? In fact, which is in onboarding experience, we can actually show them a temple. Okay, we can show them a temple, a coin going and sitting in the temple, animating. Later on also, if they buy, if that person buys, we can actually show them that interaction, right? And there are so many ways to present this. Yes, now people are starting. Okay, mimic religious context in our flow. Wow, Vishnu, you seem to be a very smart fellow. You have very good vocab. Amazing. Now, persona number 3. How to come up with these ideas? Enroll in product anatomy. Or you can like, share, and comment, subscribe to Molecule channel, guys. So now the anxious planner, which is the persona number 3. Um, their job to be done is they want to feel like I am protecting my family. Who is this anxious planner? These are people who are like kind of in my age and above. 35 and above people who have a wife, who have kids, but they're still young, right? They may have faced some problems in their career, so they couldn't start early. Now they're starting to have kids, etc., and now they want to feel responsible that I'm doing something for my family. Okay, so now the job to be done for this person, JTBD framework, is they want to feel like they're protecting their family, they're securing their future. But what is their particular challenge? Their particular challenge is they have so many things to do in their life. Okay, I won't be taking any doubts, guys. Abhi nahi. I will be only be taking doubts by when I'm done with this. Okay, keep your doubts ready. Write it down. Old guy who is working a salaried job is already really complicated. They're actually really overwhelmed. So their challenge, their friction is they're already overwhelmed. They they'll feel like it is a big hassle for me to go and understand the validity of the platform, then the money that I have, should I do it, blah blah blah, right? Phone pay se karu, Zerodha se karu. They have so many decisions to make. Then the optimizer guy. This is the smart guy. People in Bangalore, right, who are tech aware, they have been doing things. These people are people who are already investing. For them, this is like, uh, you know what? I'm going to diversify my investment now, right? Let me diversify. I've already been investing. I've already invested in mutual funds and blah, blah, blah. Let me now diversify because gold is gold, bhai. So now they want to make a data justified decision, right? Because this person already has a portfolio. For them, they are like, oh, will gold beat my Nifty 50 index in the next 10-year run? They're thinking like that. Okay, should I be investing gold? How much of a money I should be investing in gold, diversification, etc. No. Now, their real friction is they wanna see. They're missing methodology to trust numbers. Basically, they wanna see numbers. They want that PhonePe should help them do that calculation quickly of what they would be able to get if they invest today, this much amount, blah, blah, blah. So these people are data-driven people. Then this is the lapsed user. This is the persona that we did not have last time. Okay. And this I added after a lot of discussion. This I did not add just today. I realized, right, okay, critique karte that okay, this was missing. There would have been some people who would have come to the feature previously, not gotten that conviction and left. Those people are going to come back now, right? Because right, last time they tried it last time. If we bring the visibility of this feature up, they would see this again. Now our goal is we should be giving them zero friction. Like their real job is, if they discovered the feature right now, they came midway and left, meaning there would have been some friction. Now there should be zero friction to restart from where they left. That's the important thing. If we can find out a way to actually restart their journey from where they left last time, it would be amazing. Then for them, the core thing is the psychological cost of restarting. If they went somewhere in the flow, they started doing investment, there would be so many things in the investment also, right? You can't just give money, UPI transfer nahi kar sakte, right? You have to set up auto pay, etc., right? So, and it's an SIP, to udhar ka thoda bahut udhar ka KYC bhi ho sakta hai, extra, all of those. So for them, the challenge is the psychological cost of restarting. This is important. Now what we have 5 personas with different goals and different friction. Okay, now again an important lesson for you. For those of you who include one page ka persona jisme ek fictional image hota hai and pain point, blah blah blah, all of these things, right? In your case study, I have shown 5 personas in one screen, and you have just the important information that you need to know. When you show personas like this in your case study, 5 personas can be shown like this. Okay? And you have every bit of important information. No overload. Okay? So that is also a lesson, which is how do you actually show personas in a product thinking case study, not like वो college student वाला या boot camp वाला persona जिसमें एक बड़ा सा, there's a big template that you have to put in 2 3 which nobody reads. Now, now this previous thing, this is the AI output. Okay, so we are also following that question, prompt, output, and review format, because we are eventually working with AI. We can't just assume everything that AI is giving us to be true. Okay, chalo. Now, so this is output. This is the output that we got from AI, and now we will move to the next stage, which is review. Okay. Questions लोग पूछते ही रहते हैं. शिवानी, is this be considered valid in industry in real world? Shivani, industry does not have any standard. Industry does not focus so much on documenting persona. Industry only wants storytelling. You took a decision, you tell me the reasoning. Find out the most efficient way to save my time as a recruiter, right? And tell me what you know and what I need to know. Industry does not give a flying fish about personas, right? Or how you show personas. This is on us because we are designers, right? Hamara job hai ye. Now, how does, okay, review karna, okay, which is how a designer reviews AI generated personas. How would we review? Number one, we have to validate them against the JTBD framework, which we discussed in the previous session. Okay, which is, does each persona have a distinct functional, emotional, and a social job? We discussed there were 3 jobs to be done for every persona. One was functional, one was emotional, one was a social job. Okay. Now, yes, if the 2 personas share all 3, merge them. Right now, in the personas that we got, all personas had unique JTBDs. Data detectability. What is this? Can the product's existing data systems actually identify the persona? Which is, if I got this persona from my AI, can I go ahead, talk to the analyst in my team, talk to the PM in my team, talk to the business owner in my team, and verify these personas? Okay? So yes, this is also important. Overlap में फिर वही बात है. Can one user belong to 2 personas simultaneously? Yeah, this is also a very important thing. Okay? This is like a user persona mapping, verification evaluation criteria, overlap test. Okay, can one user belong to 2 personas simultaneously? Okay, if yes, then the persona is not specific enough. Okay, and then lastly, coverage check. Have you covered all your users or all the users that you wanted to target or not? Okay, so we can follow this framework and then review AI's output. Generally, this output was correct based on my experience because I'd been there. So I found it correct. So I moved. If you were doing this same process, by the way, question, prompt, output, and review, you would have to spend the time on this stage. You can't just move to the next stage. Next up, now that we have personas, next up question is, what should the onboarding flow look like? Okay, because remember, in the problem statement that I gave you guys, I specifically mentioned we are not talking about discovery, we are not talking about payment, we're only right now focusing on onboarding. What is the role that onboarding can play in this case study? How can we improve the onboarding specifically to make sure people are converting? Okay, now what should the onboarding framework look like? Because there are so many types of onboarding. There's like one onboarding which is carousel style, right? Next, full screen, slide. Then there are onboarding which is pop-up 1 2 3, right? Next, one pop-up here, one pop-up here, right? Every onboarding framework is designed for different use cases. Okay, so now the next stage is discussing, evaluating what should that onboarding flow look like. Now, yeah, what I also discussed, I think briefly in the last session is your framework, your onboarding framework should be AI powered. That's important. Your onboarding framework should be AI powered. At the very least, now we can actually use AI to generate a lot of personas, right? We can use AI to generate different unique messages, right? We can actually generate a lot of unique messages for every different persona. right? And that can be used, right? कि messages generate कर लिए, in fact illustrations भी generate कर सकते हैं. As long as they're able to create a good enough data set and then feed it to the AI, it will give us new and new copy for every user also. Okay, so that was also one direction that we could explore. Now, so this is the brief. Next पे चलते हैं. What did I do? I again gave a prompt, okay, which is give me an architecture for this onboarding flow. Okay, and by the way, this is not a one-off prompt ke I just gave it the prompt and then it gave me the ideal flow. I have done a lot of to and fro, but this is the process. Now that you have a question, which is how should the onboarding flow look like, how would you translate it to AI? You have to come up with the right prompt. So I created an informed prompt and then I gave it to you. Sometimes it's okay to just say whatever you're feeling. You don't have to structure your prompt like this. Okay, it will take you 2-3 times, but it's okay. You don't have to always come up with this. And this AIPSO framework is also something that we talked about in the last session. I discussed that you can follow this overall framework, okay, to actually kind of solve this specific onboarding problem: audience, insight, point, system, and output. This is like a framework to design good quality onboardings. Okay, so now this happened. Okay, now what did we get? Okay, we got like a framework. Again, we're designing a framework for onboarding first that we can later on personalize. अब देखते हैं फर्स्ट टाइम बायर के लिए क्या क्या चाहिए हमको, right? Framework is saying we need an emotional hook for the first time buyer. Okay, we will need a how it works kind of a section. We might need like a slider wala instruction interaction where the person can use a slider to get the output, get the amount, right? Increase the amount, decrease the amount, etc, etc. Then investment wala stage where they finally invest, and then the confirmation wala stage. Okay, so AI told me कि you know what, first time buyer के लिए you can actually have this kind of a flow. Second time buyer के लिए you can have this kind of a flow. Festive buyer के लिए you can have this. Anxious planner के लिए you can actually have this kind of a flow. Optimizer के लिए you can have this kind of a flow. Labs user के लिए you can have this kind of a flow. Okay, but right now I'm showing this to you in one go. I can give you just a little bit of more sneak peek. To me, this took multiple times. Okay, let me just drag in the Claude wala window here. Yeah. Okay, I hope my screen is still visible, right? Huh, yeah. So when I was building this, it has been going on for like ages. Okay, so it's like it's a long discussion. Okay, it's a long discussion. What I'm showing you is a case study, but then the goal was I gave AI a prompt to create eventually an onboarding framework. Okay, framework bhi chahiye and then interaction bhi chahiye. What would be that interaction? Generally, I settled on that, full screen, one by one, interaction. Okay, because that's the easiest, plus engineering wise bhi wo easiest hai. Okay, because we are targeting 60 million people. Out of them, even if you have to show this feature to 1 million people, right, that's still a big scale. Okay, so I decided on that. Wo bhi I gave it to this in the prompts, etc. And then after multiple rounds of iteration, we landed up on this framework. ठीक है, अब वो फ्रेमवर्क वही बात है, इससे ज्यादा मैं डिटेल दूंगा तो थोड़ा सा बोर भी हो जाओगे तुम लोग. But we got, right, eventually we got an output with AI that we were happy with. Now, the best thing about this framework is it is specific to every persona. Okay, we needed two things. We needed a data model, right, a database framework for this, and then we also needed an interaction where we can plug in that data. Okay, because first time buyers, imagine in PhonePe's total 600 million, there would be literally millions of people who would be first time buyers. Okay, now that we have AI, we can actually generate custom onboarding messages for a lot of them. And I'll show you, I have built a tool also, okay, that can tell you how that custom on messages for everybody would work. बहुत ही मस्त सा tool है वो. But just that there would be so many people who would be going through this journey. So emotional hook is something that we're going to generate for more and more people. This is where AI will come in. Then festive buyer के लिए cultural hook चाहिए. Different copy, different messaging, different illustration. Anxious planner के लिए we need a security based hook. ठीक है? Optimizer के लिए we need like a data based hook. Labs user के लिए we don't need hooks. They have already been into the journey. We need to get them ahead, थोड़ा सा आगे. Okay, and then we need to get them to a resume script. ठीक है? First timer. यार सुशांत, let me give you a summary जल्दी से first timer buyer के लिए. ये देखो, first time buyer are people who are young but have started to get some disposable income that they can start to invest in these things. ठीक है? तो they are young people, majorly young people. ठीक है? Their core job to be done or their goal is they want to feel financially responsible, but their friction is they are afraid of making a mistake because they are young. They're first time buyers of these things. Okay? Now, this is the framework that we've gotten. And I used my past experience, and I know that for PhonePe, the most efficient onboarding for the audience of PhonePe, actually, the most efficient onboarding will be screen by screen wala slider, right? I click one step at a time, and that is anyway the most popular and, let's just say, most efficient framework for mobile onboardings in most of the use cases. Not all, but most. So अब ये भी clear हो गया, output भी आ गया मेरा, right? I know कि okay, onboarding का framework भी मेरा बन जा रहा है. तो अभी दिखाता हूं मैं भी कुछ cool चीज दिखाता हूं. Okay, PM review पे आ गए क्या हम? Okay, let me see. इधर पे क्या था? This is the demo original. Okay. So when I got this framework done, by the way, when I got this framework done, I didn't just create the framework. Then I went ahead and also created an interaction, okay, you know, so that we can start seeing stuff. Now, this is the sample interaction that we have. Okay. अब अच्छी चीजें शुरू होने वाली है. How would PhonePe know if the user is the first time? This is a good question based on KYC data. Okay, and I have a big doc on that also. Okay, what is the legally compliant amount of data that we are allowed to collect as PhonePe, and how much data we can use, because RBI has some strict guidelines, but it is easily possible. Okay, in fact, RBI mandates that we store people's data. Okay, RBI mandates that we have to keep people's transaction history for at least 5 years of last 5 years, which means we can actually use the transaction history to collect the understand their spending pattern also. अभी आते हैं persona पे, चिंता मत करो, डेप्थ पे जाएंगे. अभी मैं पूरा समराइज तो कर दूं एक बार पहले. ठीक है? तो I asked यार, you know what, let's quickly generate this. So it generated something initially where this stepper component was not there. ठीक है? It had वो that bar. I was like, नहीं, that's not what we use in PhonePe. I created this stepper component in their design system, so I know that we use it everywhere. ठीक है? So I asked it to use this component. I was like, okay, now create this interaction. अब देखो, we have 5 personas here, by the way, and we have a unique interaction for every user, or sorry, every user persona. Okay, chalo. Now, let me show you this. This is the first take with AI. Got this. Now I'm like, okay, this Diwali, start something just for you. First time buyer, okay. So the copy is also geared to them, ke, no pressure. Imagine that person is afraid of making mistakes. We are saying this Diwali, start something just for you. Now, when you say something like that, it's a low commitment decision, right? Just do it for yourself. Zyada load nahi lena hai. Hai na? Not for anyone else. A small, quiet decision for your future self, right? Your future self will thank you for. A low commitment copy. And this is the copy that we can keep on personalizing for thousands of people, by the way. That's the use case of AI, which I'll show you abhi. Next step, how यहाँ पर I can show them some message. Simpler than you think. Pick any amount, even 100, blah, blah, blah. Again, now I'm, trying to convince them a little more. ठीक है? थोड़ा सा और. फिर, they're like, sounds good. Okay. Now we are asking them to do this. ठीक है? This is what the slider was needed for. कितना चाहते हो तुम पैसा इन्वेस्ट करना, right? How much feels comfortable? Again, copy is exactly in sync with the persona. And then start with this amount. Then this is the screen now. Onboarding khatam, right? Ideally onboarding khatam ho gaya. Now we are into conversion. Okay? Now we are like, okay, I have warmed you up. This is kind of a replica of the current screen that they show you if you click on that daily gold option. Okay? And now you can continue. You can actually make the payment. I'm showing you the first year projection. Some things, you know what? Good job on this. Right? 1 year में तुम यहाँ पर पहुंच जाओगे, and then the journey is done, and now I'm back home. ठीक है? Back to home page. This is take 1, and remember this. Right now we are iterating. Don't think like oh ये तो बहुत गंदा दिख रहा है. This is iteration. This is rapid prototyping. ठीक? Second journey, festive buyer. उसके लिए you already buy gold every Diwali. This just makes it automatic. Same tradition, smarter habit. Okay, 1 copy maybe might work with some people. ठीक है? I'm curious. Again, देखा message. I'm curious. No commitment. इतना छोटा CT है कि वो बंदा ये नहीं बोलेगा कि हाँ चल, right? That person would not say कि just okay. I'm curious. It's a very low commitment copy. Move ahead. Then I'm showing them something like this. Okay? The comparison between physical gold and gold SIP. This is for the festive buyer because that person is thinking this. Now, that person, if they are happy, they'll say makes sense. Otherwise, they'll go back. Okay? Then makes sense. Okay. Now I'm like, done. Just the right amount of friction and convincing. No effort. Okay? And then they're here again, same things, right? They do it. We get them a first year projection back home. This is the first take on festive buyer. Similarly, for anxious planner, this person is anxious. Look at the CTA. How do I start? This is not, I'm curious. Now, how do I start? A safety net that builds itself. Exact sync with their insecurities, with their goals. How do I start? Again, a scale. Okay? They choose the number like this. Use this amount. Go. Build to be trusted. Again, that person is an anxious planner. Right? Right after we did not show them the amount wala screen, right? Right after that, we're showing them one more trust signal, trust marker. Okay? And when they are ready, chalo, seems like a good enough journey to me. Next up, optimizer के लिए again a journey. ठीक है? इधर से ये है बंदा जो कि data centric बंदा है, right? This, okay? Data centric journey. Start this SIP here. ठीक है? If you want to see it again, कहाँ गया? Yeah. ठीक है? We show them some charts, maybe. We ask them, okay, set the amount. That chart in the previous screen, by the way, it would take a lot of time to design properly because that's the core part. If you don't nail that chart, they won't be convinced. But that's not the part that I'm expecting AI to solve. I'll solve it. AI is gonna help me ideate at scale. So this, start this SIP, this, right? Done. Okay. And then the last, lapsed user. For lapsed user, we will try to detect which screen where they were from, right? We're gonna start them mid-flow. Okay? We're gonna start them mid-flow. Resume my setup. We showed them this and they're done. उनके में ज़्यादा drama नहीं है. ठीक है? Why are you saying regulated by RBI? Because it is not regulated by RBI. About what, Rashid? Anyways, I'll convert. You answer, Rashid. Okay. But yeah, this is the V1. ठीक है? अरे भाई, wrong word. Wrong organization. For me, RBI is a proxy for all the compliances. Okay? Abhi, I'll send you a doc. ठीक है, I've made a doc where you can find all the important compliances that we need to follow. ठीक है, डीपी डीपीए एंड बहुत सारे compliances होते हैं. ठीक है, 55 ऑडिट होते थे हमारे साल के. ठीक है, तो अभी ऐसी बातों पे तुम लोग यार कैसे कैसे मतलब, चलो छोड़ो. Okay. So for the last persona, we don't need any onboarding. देखो, actually, this is an assumption, by the way, Abhibi. Okay, Ritik, very good question actually, because we are assuming that the last person was already mid flow, meaning they were convinced. Now we could be totally wrong, right? Okay, we could be totally wrong. Okay, that person does not even want to invest in gold at all. But then the person who left last time in the middle and does not want to invest in gold at all would not even click on the same journey the second time, right? If they don't want, they would not come in second time also. But if they are coming, they left midway last time, but they are again coming, means that they are more, susceptible to be, or they're ready to buy gold, partially at least. And that is why we're trying to actually give them a no nonsense flow. For us right now, the assumption is that we don't need any onboarding at all. But if you see here, we have some area to customize. We can still use this area with a good illustration, with a good copy to kind of boost their morale, charge them up, right? Prime them to invest this. But for that person who was midway already, I would not say that we should be, wasting too much time in convincing them. That person came second time, that person is ready. You need to give them a no nonsense flow. Okay. Now this is V1. Now let's go back to the presentation, and now I'll take 5 minutes to actually answer some questions or take any queries also. Okay, chalo. If you guys can also raise hands, by the way. Okay. Why do we need a different solution for all the personas, and can that be possible? Yes, Shivans, that's a very valid question. And imagine when you have a big enough audience, if you have a big audience, if you capture even a small chunk out of them, the cost of building a custom solution for multiple personas might be worth the investment, might be worth the return that you would be getting out of them. If you get 10 crore rupees worth of investment out of this by building custom interactions, totally worth it. Okay? And 10 crore, it would not take us 10 crore to build it for sure. Okay? But if you can get it done, it's totally worth it. And this is how we think. What is our goal, right? Our goal is, can we build a solution, right, that brings in more money than it took to build? That's the goal. That is why we keep on re-optimizing the feature. That is why you keep seeing Zepto ka checkout experience, right? It keeps on changing. But काम तो पिछला वाला भी कर रहा था ना. So then why did they change it? They changed it because they want to get incremental value out of it, and the cost that it is taking them to increase, put in that incremental value, right, is actually going to bring more money than that cost. So, and when you're a product designer, you have to find out these unique ways, right? Come up with unique ways to bring more business. You can never settle. I think we need to give an option to restart the process to recall the onboarding. Anant, are you asking when people exit the onboarding accidentally and then they should be able to come back? That, yes. I mean, we can actually save that. अभी वही बात है कि अभी हम edge cases पे अभी हम नहीं जा रहे हैं, ठीक है? क्योंकि edge cases बनाऊंगा तो ये 150 स्क्रीन की केस स्टडी बनेगी. अभी भी देख रहे हो ना? We have how many screens? 5, 5, 5, 5, and 3. 23 screens we already have without edge cases. So abhi hum happy flow discuss karke, we're trying to come up with a core construct. What will happen if the user drop off between the journey? They'll go back to the home screen and they can actually click on any of the entry points, daily gold, etc., and they can begin where they left off. That's anyway programmable, right? How about a conversational onboarding experience that adopts to their preferences? Very hard to build, bro. Even getting a basic LLM setup and coming up with all the data. Okay, conversational experiences are much more tricky because you can never predict the question that people will ask. This is a controlled experience. ठीक है, we need control here. लोग chatting में ही लग जाएंगे उधर पे, and people do this. That's why most of the conversational experiences are failing in industry, because people enjoy chatting more than actually doing the task via chatting. Except first time user, lapsed user, how can we know which persona is there on the app? Ritesh, we assumed at the beginning that we are working in PhonePe. So if we are doing this, I mean, as an outsider, I know 100%, right? As an outsider, you have to rely on the data if you're building this as a concept case study. But if you are actually working there, you can just mention in the case study, right? Okay, if I was working there, I would have gone to the business people, talk to the product manager to verify which of these personas are correct. Currently, I talked to 20 people in my network, and I found one person at least of all of these personas. Is there any brainstorming process to figure out user flows? Yeah, Megha, with AI, we're not doing too much brainstorming. That's the part we're trying to, or let's just say, we're doing brainstorming differently. With AI, we are brainstorming visually. We're like, show me like this, show me something like this. Rather than just thinking, what would it feel like to build something like that? We're like, build me this. I'll see it and I'll then decide. As long as you have token, this work. Did you run out of tokens, bro? I have I have a big plan, so it's okay. I had a $200 plan which I was not able to utilize, so right now I've downgraded to $100 plan. So plenty of tokens I have. How will we get data of an anxious user and show that flow to them? Very, very good. I'm gonna come to it. And again, after this case study is this session, I'll also send you a few docs, okay, where all this research is compiled. मजा आएगा तुम्हें. लेकिन custom अभी मैं जल्दी करके. Okay, I'll take two more questions. Mihir has been listening very patiently. Mihir Vaishnav. Yeah, unmute. Oh, आवाज नहीं आ रही है? Okay, you put the question for the persona one. First time users, they'll not understand term SIP. Should we remove it and explain it more in more simple terms? Very good question. But I would say that's a bet. That's a bet I'm willing to take. Okay. Reason being, explaining SIP to somebody and then expecting they would take the decision then and there, right? And then commit is a much bigger expectation. ठीक है कि मैंने, it's like, imagine, let's say you hear about me today and you get to know that I run a course and it costs 40,000 rupees, right? No matter what, you can't take that decision based on one reel that you just watched, no matter how good that course is, right? It's a very high commitment decision. But if you have been watching my content for a month, you've taken a few workshops, you understand the value, then you're more prone. Okay. Now, the day you would have decided to follow me, did I send you a message? Okay, you know what? I have this course. Do you want to buy? Because I have that on automation. I can send it to you, right? But I did not. And you also know, okay, it wouldn't have worked, no matter how beautifully that message would have been written. Okay. So it's like we are basically filtering out. We're designing the journey in a way that those people who were anyway not going to invest that soon are going to be self-churning out. Okay, that is why we're not aiming for 100% conversion. के बंदा, the guy clicked on the message, अब तो इसको payment SIP करना पड़ेगा, right? We're not aiming for 100% conversion. Okay? Exactly. It's like, see, discovery pay, those are discovery problems also, right? We should be making sure the right kind of audience is discovering our feature. Before they come to this, they should have basic awareness. Those are other problems. This is onboarding. No worries, man. I hope our good discussion would have been interesting, but chalo, no worries. One more question, Mohit Attribute, Mohit Attri. Mohit bhai, लेकिन camera on करना पड़ेगा. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. मतलब bhai वाला, ठीक है? Please don't mind. Sorry. Mohit, do you wanna? Oh, is nobody able to unmute? ओके चलो गुड। फिर तो सही किया। ओके ओके लेट मी सी सॉरी अनम्यूट
कर दिया सर।
ओके चलो यस मोहित can you unmute you can try to unmute now not working yeah it's
Hello.
working
Can you hear? Yeah. So my question is, how can I get real case studies if I don't have them?
how can I get
The real number in our case studies. If I have existing case study, but I don't have real numbers, then how would I
you
wrote
can't
them
get
in?
that's very
Yeah.
we can't it's not possible we can only get closer to the industry standards of that product or feature any data that is publicly available that's secondary research you'll have to build hypothesis based on the data available in your secondary research we can't get the primary data yeah चलो लेट मी क्विकली गो इनसाइड क्योंकि अब जाकर के इंटरेस्टिंग चीजें होने वाली है ठीक है आई एम होपिंग सम ऑफ यू वुड बी डूइंग दिस ऑलरेडी बट इफ यू आर नॉट डूइंग दिस सौरभ भाई अभी आते हैं ठीक है नेक्स्ट में आपका आई टेक इट आउट नाउ if you are not doing these things so far you should start doing it so what happened is when I was having this conversation right when I was having this conversation with Claude I asked it to then do a specific PM review I was like you know what now do a PM review and show me how a PM would think about this okay show me the challenges show me what they will fight back with blah 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 so then I asked it okay how would a PM review this design they would look at these things right impact versus fiction data dependency ko audit karenge wo which screen assumes the data okay we will have this data anyway but we actually don't have data all of these things technical things compliance checks also we can't do this right this feature is not available to us this design is not allowed to us blah 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 there's so many compliances also okay so PM would look at things this way now oh no I actually asked it to do a PM review Saurabh I asked it to do a PM review just okay so would this actually pass a product review basically this is like the kind of prompt that I gave is this only this is the summary prompt of the entire discussion that I have which is you are a senior group PM at this with this much I'm sharing a product design proposal right so it was a summary this is a structured prompt mine was okay now imagine that you are a senior product manager at PhonePe you have been working on Gold SIP feature for 2 years right before this you have also worked in other features of PhonePe so you have a good enough idea of the compliance aise karke right I gave a prompt like this okay give me this give me this give me that aise karke I gave like it instructions so we have a PM prompt also here which you guys can use after this session and do a PM review now this is what I got from PM review this is interesting okay number one blockers these are categorized into blockers without this we can't move major this needs a discussion minor it's okay even if we avoid it okay now confirmation screen shows forward looking projections without SEBI disclaimer ठीक है okay अरे यार इसने mention नहीं किया यहाँ पर ना this was for a specific persona wait fix should demo oh anxious planner okay these are the fixes that it suggested कि anxious planner वाला journey में there are some suggestions ठीक है तो confirmation screen shows forward looking projections without SEBI disclaimer so this is SEBI disclaimer ka compliance which is you can't just say you will be able to make this much money in 10 years without a SEBI disclaimer okay something like these are subject to market risk blah blah please read your investment document carefully before investing there are different levels of this okay so Shivam bhai will continue that yes I remember okay no exit path on screen one of any flow this is a simple thing matlab the previous wireframe that I had उसपे कोई exit path नहीं था कि how do people get out of the home screen so I added a back button on there anxious planner income input asks for data PhonePe already has okay ये क्या है replace input income input asks for data phone पे already has. Replace with inferred suggestion from transaction history. Okay, इसका मैं खुद भी भूल गया हूँ, ठीक है, मेरे chat में सब कुछ है, so sorry guys, but yeah. Okay, then optimizer projector uses flat multiplier with no methodology. Yes, fix क्या है, show this point CAGR. Okay, now basically we got this feedback from PM agent now. Okay, now what's my job? Now that I have gotten this feedback, my job is to now go either push back. Okay, so now what can I do with this feedback? Designer triages, PM feedback है, triage कैसे करना होता है, which is you can fight the feedback. Okay, the feedback misunderstands design intent, let's just say, right? Sometimes the feedback may have which is they don't understand my intent, so I can fight it, I can fix it, the feedback is valid, if I can defer it. Okay, या फिर I can concede, which is I'm like, okay, yes, this is good, I think mine thing was completely wrong, right? So there are 4 things that we can do with the framework also. Chalo, then oh, ये आगे कैसे चला गया? Okay, review हो गया. So now let me show you what happened with the PM feedback. ठीक है, anxious planner का journey अभी देख लेते हैं. So anxious planner का journey before feedback was safety net that builds itself. How do I start? Okay, then ठीक है. This is what can you set aside this suggested SIP 750 rupees, 5% of your income. Okay, use this amount, bill to be trusted. Okay, this here. Okay, now let's say what was the change in the journey to okay, okay. So you see this second step, right? There is some change between the first step and the second step. Here in the second step we have what can you set aside. We will suggest an SIP amount. Okay, this is your income. So this is like you're selecting your income here. Suggested SIP amount is this 5% of your income. Okay, feedback kya tha? I think okay, based on your spending we suggest. Yes, rather than asking people for their monthly salary, which they might not be comfortable sharing, we can actually do some sort of data analysis on their transaction history and have a suggested amount ready. And we don't need to kind of calculate unka 5 saal ka transaction history, right? We don't need longer data. We can just see their 15 or 30 days ka transaction and come up with an average. Okay? This can also be like, this is very easily calculatable, by the way. Okay? Based on the kind of spends that they are doing, because PhonePe knows that. Okay? So yeah. So now lesser friction. Okay? And now you're here. This screen is also different if you see. Sorry. This bill to be trusted, RBI regulated 99% purity, pause anytime, and 500 plus million Indians are here. Okay. And then here it's want a more personalized suggestions. Share your financial security. Yes, secure license. This is the disclaimer that you need to show, by the way, right? That you have, this is a mandatory compliance also, okay, that you are SEBI licensed, etc. Okay, otherwise you can't even have this feature. So it's like they're showing, and plus yeah, revoke access anytime. These kind of copies also sometimes mandatory. Okay, that you have to, you can't just say like this. It's like you can't use misleading copy. So there are also guidelines like this. Now let me move ahead, okay, which is what have we done now? We actually did a PM review and we got incremental feedback on our design. Okay, what I am showing you are only the changes that I kept. There were a lot of other changes also, okay, but I rejected them and then I kept these changes. Okay, this is the PM review mock with the AI. You can also do the same with your Claude for your concept case studies. Choose what you want and then bol do ke, you know what, okay, these are okay suggestions, implement them. And now you can see how they can be implemented. Okay, oops. Later on, after this, I also did an engineering manager review. This is the core. Okay, now we'll kind of go towards the end. Most people don't do this. Okay, most of you wouldn't do an engineering review of your feature. But engineering reviews are much more powerful than PM reviews, by the way. More design changes happen in engineering review than PM review. Engineering review will be like a, it will take us 2 months to build. We'll build it, huh? Okay. Diwali is 1 month away. It will take us 2 months to build. And then suddenly people will be like, okay, just tell me how much can you build in 1 month? We have to launch it. And that's the review I simulated here. Okay. Vishnu, this took me a total of 3 hours with passive chatting, YouTube, ऐसा करके. It is a 2-hour work, I would say. Focused work, it is 2 hour. Okay. And it took me less time because I knew about this feature already. That's why. So अब engineering review में क्या हुआ, right? Let's see what happened in the engineering review. This is a prompt. Okay. Again, not the exact prompt that I use, but the prompt that you can use to simulate this. Okay. The feedback that we got. Number 1 feedback. This is the most expected feedback that some of you also said. Why do we have so many custom flows? Okay. Yeah. Mihir, are you trying to stare at the screen? I have increased the font size. Sorry, I did not realize it. Yeah. Okay. So feedback number 1. Why do we need 5 different personas and a custom flow for every persona? It will add maintenance cost. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it will add maintenance cost. Yes. ये क्या है? Shared components with conditional rendering inside. Yeah. Why can't we have one flow where we ask people some things and then give them some journey here, rather than having 5 completely individual flow? This is something that you will have to counter now. Okay. How do you counter? I'll send you a doc. Okay. It is written in long. I'll send you a resource doc where it is written how can you present your design rationales for every single one of these things. Then backlog में ये क्या जा रहा है? Inferred SIP from transaction data. This is important. Your engineering will be like, Achha, we need to now calculate the suggested SIP amount based on the transaction history for how many people? 10 million people? 20 million people? How much calculation will we do? That's a long calculation, right? It will take a lot of unnecessary compute. Okay. So this will actually, yes, this will require like testing a new analytics API. They'll be like, this is not possible in this sprint. Custom AA consent aggregator ऐसे करके consent होता है, ठीक है? Which is sometimes you are required के okay, if you are gonna say something like this, you have to first take consent. User का consent का एक pop-up बीच में mandatory होता है, ठीक है? तो ये वाला भी this Diwali timing signal already in notification infrastructure config changes only. इसको तो चलो कोई जरूरत नहीं है. English copy variants. This is important. I was thinking, you know what? We'll actually show region specific copy. Okay. North में we can show Hindi copy. In South we can show 4 different copy in all 4 states, right? Basically have as much localization as possible. For the states where we don't have enough users, we can keep a default of English copy. But if we are supporting 5-6 languages in our app, we should be showing. There also there will be like some feedback, right? There will be so much problem in coming up with custom copy. Uske liye bhi I have another framework. Okay? So ये क्या है? AI brief generator, runtime, okay, latency plus cost at 500 million scale, internal design tool only. Yes, this is AI brief generator. Let me show you. AI brief artifacts, workshop 1, facilitator guide. No. Product network workshop. No. I hope I can find that. PhonePe personalization. This should be it. Yeah. So I also mocked. Okay. Yeah. Saurabh, मैं सारे पे जाऊंगा तो बहुत ज़्यादा time लग जाएगा. That's why I'll build a bigger guide and धीरे-धीरे करके send it to you guys. ठीक है? इसलिए. तो I also built a copy generator. When I was saying na कि we have 5 personas. ठीक है? And we need to come up with unique copy for them. How will we come up? So I built a small tool. We have 5 personas here. You can choose any persona. You can choose any age group. Okay? Because those people might exist in different age groups. ठीक है, तो इमेजिन कि कोई ऑप्टिमाइजर बंदा 22 to 26 years एग्जिस्ट एज ग्रुप में एग्जिस्ट कर सकता है, राइट? देयर माइट बी समबडी हु इज वेरी डेटा ड्रिवन. ठीक है, you need to present this much to stakeholders. This is not for stakeholders, bro. This is for our case study. The documentation that I have, this is for case study. For them, I'll be showing them very minimal stuff. This I'm teaching you guys to how do you document the process. Now imagine, okay, so 26 to 6, tier 1 bhi select kar liya. Their transaction volume also. Let's say somebody is doing high transactions. Then this consent is also important. I'm assuming they have given us their account aggregator consent. Okay. Then do they want, should we show them a Diwali specific onboarding or should we show them a normal onboarding? And then copy language, should we show English, Hinglish or Hindi? Okay, I'll show English only. Then I'll click. Usually it generates like a proper personalization engine ka brief. Generate. It'll give you like hero copy, sub copy, illustration directions. Okay, what should be the kind of hooks for them, etc. It generates everything. Okay, yes, this Diwali let your money grow while you celebrate. One copy. ठीक है, सब कॉपी इधर पे CTA टेक्स्ट भी जनरेट कर रहा है. या अनंत, this you can get before without even enrolling to Product Anatomy. Just reminding you. Okay, if you guys want to actually see the full process of this kind of things, right, in case you're getting curious, okay, this is what we will be doing in Product Anatomy for 5 weeks, 2 times a week, 3 hours a day. Okay, 60 hours of building sessions like this. Ispe to I've built. There we will be doing, I'll be giving you prompt, you'll build. Okay, subtle plug. Chalo. Yeah, illustration direction, social proof. Okay, social proof can also be used for illustration direction, or you can input some other element of social proof. Okay, and then here flow variant bhi generate karna hai, consent ka moment, where should you take some consent, etc. Or dekho, generally what is it that a junior designer would miss? I have also included it. Okay, any young designer, right, who would be missing a few of these things, I've created a note, and in case you want to see the prompt structure, it is here. Okay. Vimarsh, Product Anatomy, ab to main nahi dunga. Yes, please come to Product Anatomy for this. Okay, this is ये अभी 5% है यार, अभी तो हम लोगों ने ये तो शुरू किया है अभी हमने. ठीक है, तो yeah, like you can actually now you imagine, right, like how many combinations are there, and then you can actually keep on generating different copies. And whatever this tool is, this is the mini version of something that the developers will have to build for generating customized onboarding copy. Okay, this can be easily scaled, by the way, very easily scaled. We can actually put in more restrictions also, like if we want the language to be in a specific way, we can add all of those here. ठीक है, ये देखो copy का directions, right? You can actually custom input add custom instructions here, and you will get even better results. ठीक, चलो, coming here. So we have a lot of engineering restrictions also. ठीक है, this step took me like 15-20 minutes. I had to read all of those, and then Claude was waiting to tell me what are the decisions, right? Which one should we accept, which one should we reject, all of those. So we did it. Okay, now what is the process for you? How should a designer negotiate with engineering? You have to frame your flows as config. This is important. Developer would be thinking these are 5 separate journeys. You have to tell them this is not 5 separate journeys. There are only a set of 7 components that I'm using in this. The entire 5 journeys are just built using these 7 components. The customization is happening based on the data that is going inside them. And I have already built a tool that you as a developer can look at, right? And this tool can act as an API to talk to those 7 components and customize infinitely. This is exactly how I would have been talking to the engineer, by the way. I mean, I have done this in Zepto also. We used to build plugins and all of that. ठीक है, तो मतलब this is how we used to discuss things. ठीक है? Then ये क्या है भाई? Check what's in the session. Okay, before accepting new API needed, ask what data is already in the auth token or session payload. Okay, ये थोड़ा तुम लोग के लिए हो जाएगा. Which 7? I don't know, मैंने क्या बोला, मैंने कुछ बोल दिया होगा. Yeah, मतलब अभी एक्सप्लेन करूंगा तो ज्यादा हो जाएगा. ठीक है, प्री अलाइन विद लीगल बाय द वे. यस, तो इंजीनियर्स आर एक्सट्रीमली अवेयर ऑफ द लीगल कंस्ट्रेंट्स बाय द वे. ठीक है, सो मेनी टाइम्स दे हैव टू कस्टम वायर द जर्नीज बिकॉज ऑफ लीगल, तो दे विल ऑल्सो पुट इन दिस. ठीक है, तो वो भी तुम्हें करना है. इट्स लाइक यू हैव टू pre-discuss with the legal what is possible and not, so that the developers cannot become a blocker. Okay, and then this own the backlog explicitly. Imagine this: if you're building this much, right, we can use it, or we can build it in a way that we can use it outside Diwali or after Diwali too, right? So there will be some feature that you will cut. Here, okay, you know what, this is a good construct, we'll use this onboarding, but for Diwali we'll only build this. All of these things we will build after Diwali. So this is your backlog. So every time you're negotiating with an engineering, you have to write down custom all of the things that they said, okay, we will do it later, and you be the owner. You go and tell them, okay, you know what, Diwali launch is done, now we need to add these features in this backlog. This way you start taking design manager responsibilities, PM responsibilities. And it's not that this PM only has to own, because then PM will get all the appreciation if you own this, if you don't own this. Okay, so you also have to do this. Next, yeah, what can we win back from engineering? What are the things that we can negotiate with engineering? Okay, so now we'll challenge them. Okay, so now this happened. I actually gave a prompt to AI for counter arguments for developers. I'm like, if engineering says this, what do I do now? Then again something happened. It gave me some fixes. You can do this. Okay, shared component architecture, conditional copy on screen one config, prop, client side calculation. All of these are again fairly technical things that we can discuss in product anatomy aram se, because this will be like a 15-day project there. Okay, but I can show you that I also have an engineering realistic version, by the way. All the challenges that engineering suggested now, based on them, how will all the journeys be impacted? First thing, if you noticed, we went from 5 journeys to 4 if we accept every suggestion from engineering. So I built those versions also, right? There are some, if you remember these things, right, there are some changes happening here. Okay, little changes are there from the engineering perspective. Then I built another designer pushback version. What if the designer does not agree to this? And they're like, no. Okay, XYZ we can accept, but this we can't accept. Then what would happen? Then this would happen, right? Then I built another version. Here I also changed one thing, and I was like, you know what if we remove images and then build a stepper, make the stepper slightly bigger, right? And add good quality icons or illustrations here. Now this particular flow is not prototyped properly, but I anyway don't want it to, do that, because I will be crafting that component in Figma and then asking it to build it. So it's very good for prototyping purposes. Okay, but I have something to discuss now. See, now this is like my designer pushback version, where I have even more, fixes. Okay, like I have addressed their concerns, I've taken some compromises, but also fought back on a few things. So now we have those journeys. Okay, all of those journeys are here. Okay, now I'll take a pause because I'm kind of wrapping things from here. Okay, and I'll tell you what have we discussed so far and what should you learn from this. Okay, number one thing that you should be learning from here, okay, rapid iteration with AI is extremely possible, right? You can actually simulate an entire organization here by doing PM review, by doing engineering review, by doing compliances and legal review with these. Okay, you can actually simulate an entire org. It is extremely possible as long as you have enough tokens. That's the only blocker here. As long as you have enough tokens, you can simulate this. Then I have also showed you the structure in the way I work and the way we will be teaching people to work in product anatomy, which is this amazing framework of question, right? Question, prompt, output, and review. Somebody in my cohort, I think in the last days, Harshit or Mohit, I think he asked, we discussed here, if you're building things with AI, how would we document them? How would we create their case studies? I have it in front of you right now. This entire artifact that I'm showing you is a live case study here. I have the presentation here. I have the demo here. Okay? I did not have to write a single line. If I'm just building concepts, this is a lot. I can actually use AI to give my custom designs, etc., also, right? So many things can happen here. So this is also like a structure uh, for let's just say documenting work. Okay? So question, prompt, review, output is another framework. This presentation is also a way that you can use to document your AI generated work. Then we have also built something which is built in 2-3 hours, but we have been able to cut down 1 week a journey into 2-3 hours. This, I know this is exactly how we used to discuss, right? I was part of a few friends who were building product work, etc. in my time at PhonePe. This is exactly how things would happen. The person would be sitting for 1 or 2 days designing, iterating. Then third day PM review, PM blasts the designer completely. The designer is going back and thinking. Then back and forth. Then engineering, mein gaya, then again more changes. I was able to simulate all of that in 2-3 hours, and I was able to cut down 90% of the feedback that will come because we make so many obvious mistakes. Okay? Now, what's happening here is people who enroll in product anatomy will also get to see the next level of this, which is right now I did this without my design system. I have personally, I have 3 design systems. I have Airtel ka design system, which I actually made for Airtel, but Airtel did not use it. Airtel is still using the 2022 wala design system. I I made a new design system for Airtel in 2023. They were supposed to redesign the whole app, but it was too costly, so they stuck with the old design. Okay, old people, old design, they are okay with it. It's okay. I have that design. I have PhonePe ka design system for the current app, the new app that you see. I did the design system of it. That was my last project at PhonePe. So I have that design system, and then I have Zepto ka current design system also, right? Meaning I can build all 3 of those design systems in React, properly tokenized, okay? And then I can do this entire journey with my components. So by the end of this, imagine, I wouldn't have random shit like this. I would actually have my real project, right? Real looking product. It would not be perfect. It would never be as beautiful as a designer can make it, but it would be done in hours. It would be the best possible prototype that I can show to my PM, right? That's the goal. Iterate at speed. And plus I can go Figma to, code to canvas kar sakta hu main. I can immediately send it. Udhar pe jaunga. I'll optimize it, bring it here. That's the workflow we'll also be teaching in product anatomy. People who, there are, by the way, idhar pe Akash hai, there are so many people from interface anatomy who did the design systems cohort. They know that we ended at how do you build your design system. They built a design system in Figma. Then I gave them a workflow that they can use to actually convert it to React code with 100% tokens accuracy. And only we know के tokens actually accuracy क्या होती है. ठीक है? Karan is also here. Token structure कैसे plan करना होता है. So people are ending there. They will be able to immediately take in their workflow and यहाँ पर start कर सकते हैं. ठीक है? चलो. Can we learn this plan in Fluent base plan? Base plan में we will be touching upon this a little bit, because base plan is more for product thinking and business fluency. There are so many things in today's discussion, right, that I was just able to take a call on where you would not know those things. One, because I have been in PhonePe, yes, so that's advantage. But other, I also have, let's just say, some business fluency about how that PhonePe ka market works. We will be building these. There will be so many things in the in this kya kehte hain? Yeah, there'll be so many things related to business knowledge in base plan also. So base plan is more for, you getting you off the ground and making you a product thinker, and pro plan is product thinker plus design engineer builder. ठीक है, बट मिलेगा वैल्यू. तुम बेस प्लान में रजिस्टर करोगे तो तुम प्रो प्लान में अपग्रेड कर ही जाओगे. ठीक है. I have done it. Satyam bhai, we did it. We have, हमें पता है, we have a component god. Akash, we have component god. We have token police. Oh, once you can send the product anatomy landing page here. Okay, let me wrap this up. Okay, because I know थोड़ा heavy भी हुआ होगा. I want to take questions properly. Okay, so we have been able to mock the entire process of product designing, product thinking with AI. Okay, here, because this happened in like really fast, there are some things that I could not show you, which is where we did specifically design thinking. How did we decide on the trade-offs? Okay, what were those PM counters and how did I come up with a counter for PM's counter? Those things I had to skip because of the time limitation here. Those things are exactly what we will be covering anyway in the cohort. Okay, after this, let me see what did I have here. Does the end-to-end work experience actually work? Yes, it works. The complete arc onboarding to investment. Yeah, okay. So it's like this is the journey that we have designed. Krish, good question. Coming into it in a minute. Entry, starting from the entry point, okay, which is how do people discover? That's not, we did not cover this actually. We did not cover. Okay, how do people discover this feature? After that, persona routing. Okay, how does the system detect know ke kaun sa persona hai? That is being done by a lot of the backend config. We have the KYC data, and based on that KYC data, we will be building a construct. Okay, I'll send 1 or 2 documents in the group. People who are in the groups, right? I'll send the documents. You can actually read those documents to understand okay, how will we come up with that. Then we created an adaptive onboarding. What we did today is called adaptive onboarding. Very few products in the world have adaptive onboarding because it's costly to build and it's not successful everywhere. But when the adaptive onboarding is successful, it has a very high success rate. There is a reason it is adaptive, right? Because it gives success. It cannot be plugged anywhere, but now you guys know something that a lot of other designers may not know, which is adaptive onboarding. And how can you design it easily with AI? Investment setup का जो process था वो, this is the step where we are taking money, taking input on how much they want to invest, etc., daily, weekly, etc., and then when they are going ahead, this is the confirmation screen, and then this is the back to home screen. This is what we have touched upon from here, not 1, from 2 to 6 we have touched upon today. What else is here? What this was look like as a PRD handoff. Yeah, amazing. If I was doing this with AI completely, and designers at Razorpay, my friends at Razorpay, I think I can also call Razorpay head of design my friend. Okay, he's going to be in a podcast very soon, by the way. So my friends at Razorpay are doing this workflow. What we did today, they're doing this at scale. Last week I attended a conference where the chief product officer of Razorpay was one of the head speakers. Okay, and he said one thing, and that is he said that right now they have 6 to 7 builders in their company. Some of the people have transitioned from other roles to builders, and he said that in the next 1.5 to 2 years, please don't be surprised if Razorpay has 200 builders. And who are the builders? Builders are people who do design work, PM work, dev work, handoff, analytics. After this, analytics. Okay. And then they basically own everything. Okay. They are literally the one person. There is no designer, developer other than they are just one single person. And Razorpay has already hinted that they will be ready to have 200 builders. And product anatomy is the builder course. Okay. How do you converse this entire journey? That's what we're trying to do. Now, if I was doing this process as a designer at working in the company, right? These are the things that I would be handing off. I'd be handing off all the personas in detail. Okay, I'd be handing off copy variants, engineering dependencies, Floka architecture, all the compliances that we have met, success metrics also. Why do I need to hand this off, or who do I need to hand it off to? The team thing. We need to document this because, especially in fintech now, nothing goes live without legal compliance check, especially in PhonePe. Okay, our CEO told us that PhonePe goes through 55 audits yearly. 55 audits, different. There is somebody from government, somebody from legal sitting in our office every single day. There is some audit going on, right? So a lot of that's why these things have to be documented also properly, right? So all of these combined could have become my handoff. Okay, what is the structure that we follow today that made all of this? Question, prompt, output, and review. This is my framework. I came up with it in the last week. Okay, how should we work with AI? Okay, this is my framework. Yeah, you can actually apply this to any product. Okay, this can be applied. I will be sending this. Ye lo tum log ko, ye lo. I'm sending this to you now. Okay, I've sent the Claude artifact. Feel free to play around this. Okay, chalo. Kirti has been smiling a lot. Kirti, is it because you're so happy in the session, or you're watching Tanmay Bhatt? Kirti has been so happy, and I was so happy seeing Kirti happy. Karan bhi ekdam muskura raha tha, Akash bhi to. I'm hoping you guys enjoyed. Chalo. Mega, what will be our contribution if we are using AI for most of the work? I get that we might be reviewing the outputs, but I keep on pondering about the general role of a UX designer as AI gets better. That's a very deep question. Mega, in the short term, in the next 1 to 2 years, we have to be the critical thinker that AI cannot be, because we are the context bearers. ठीक है? एक रोल होता है कॉर्पोरेट में जिसको ऐसा डेटा मूवर्स बोलते हैं. ठीक है, डेटा मूवर रोल भी हमें बहुत ज्यादा करना है. हमें कॉन्टेक्स्ट कलेक्टर, कॉन्टेक्स्ट ट्रांसफरिंग का रोल भी करना है. हम ब्रिज है. ठीक है, वी विल बी ब्रिज, एंड यू शुड नॉट अंडरमाइन द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ द ब्रिज. ठीक है. By the way, if anybody is here who wants to share their work also, if you have it documented, please send the link here. We'll quickly have a link. Okay, sorry, we'll quickly have a look at it. Share the link in the chat. Harshit is like, a final screen be better if it showed investment build projection rather than money spend projection. Gold worth amount, this, wait, saying investment build projection, yeah, rather than money spent projection. 10 grams of gold projection for the year, or gold x worth amount projection. Yes, हमेश मतलब बहुत ही बढ़िया आइडिया. 100%. I would be happy to have you in my team if I was actually working on this project. Harshit, a lot of these open-ended questions are actually 100% valid. Okay, purely because of the time, right? If you had more time, if you were building this as a problem to solve in the case study, it would have been so much fun to actually discuss these things. I know that so many of you would have these doubts. Okay, does product anatomy has coverage on design systems? No. The way I have architected courses at Molecule, okay, is we have skill specific courses. Okay, we don't build larger boot camps. We build skill specific courses. We build one course for a specific skill. Interface anatomy is the course for design system skill. Plus, I also believe no matter how experienced you are, design systems is from where you should start learning. Then you should do product anatomy, or you should learn product thinking, which is the second course that we have. Okay, and then the third course should be, or third thing should be, you polishing your visuals, meaning you have visual skills, right? So first systems, foundations, then product thinking, business logic, core flow building, and then extreme polishing. Okay, that's how I have architected the courses. These are going to be the 3 core courses of Molecule. Interface anatomy, product anatomy, next coming up, visual anatomy, teasing it here. Okay, very soon coming up. Okay, plus I can tell you this, some people might find it cocky. I believe my courses are the best in the industry. Why? Because I have been part of most of the courses. In some way, I've been part of the most of the courses. Every boot camp. I don't want to name anybody, but I have been part. Plus, every boot camp that you would know of in India, their students have been my students. Okay, they have been the students in the last courses, and they have told us that whatever they learned in our courses they did not find anywhere else. Yes, okay, मैं quickly कर देता हूँ. I know थोड़ा salesy हो रहा होगा, but some people have questions, so I'm just gonna quickly answer their doubts. You can, yes, pay in installments for sure. Okay, we don't do discounts, by the way. We don't do student discounts, we don't do any discounts. Only ex students are getting discounts. Some people, in fact, important thing, we had 150 seats for the course. 44 to 45 seats are already filled from our previous students. Okay, so we only have about 100 seats. The moment 100 seats, in fact, there's like also a bar. The moment we have like crossed 125 seats something, we'll increase the prices also. 51 gone. Oh my god. Okay, so yeah, right, we will increase the prices. Right now we're running it at a slightly discount. It's my, my responsibility to give discounts. Yes, EMI options are there, Srinivas. Okay, we don't do discounts, but we do EMIs. Okay. Any other question related to cohorts? I have not even mastered Figma yet. Should I go for the base plan? 100% you should go for the base plan. Yes, but that does not mean you can't take the pro plan. Okay, because pro plan is extremely focused on AI tools. So if you have Claude Pro, you would still be able to use the, like, get value out of the paid plan. Okay. By the way, guys, keep on putting your questions आज के session के related भी. ऐसा नहीं कि I'm not here to just sell. ठीक है. You can ask your product questions also. अच्छे अच्छे questions होंगे तो I would be love to answer. ठीक है. So yeah, Figma required है, but Figma you can learn from YouTube, and I don't cover things that are available on YouTube in my courses. That's my motto. And the moment you start taking my classes, you realize that whatever is there in the Figma, in the YouTube, we don't cover it. We go above and beyond it. Okay, can we upgrade from base to pro? Very good question. Yes, you will be allowed to upgrade only if there are seats remaining. Plus, if we have been full, we will still be allowing a few selected people who have performed well in the base plan will be allowed once the seats are full. Okay. Into base power, do we have to somehow get our hands dirty? You can pay. Yes, you can pay for the recordings and you can get access to the interface anatomy course. We'll give them at a much cheaper discount compared to the live cohort. But it would not be as fun. You would learn a lot of things, but Akash knows it would not be as fun as we had in the live course. Is the design system course still running? The next batch will happen 2 months later of the design systems course. We do our courses at a frequency of 3 months. So if you miss one course, we do it 3 months later. Okay. What should be the new design process in the AI era? Exactly what we covered in the product in the session today, but there will be a big important place for Figma in the same flow, which is where we ended today. After this, we will go back to Figma and polish a few things. Okay, because there are some things that no matter what, AI can't design them that well. But then there are so many things that AI can design way faster than us. So you finish those faster, and then you go back to Figma and polish those interactions, apply your design system and tokens, bring it quickly back to code and ship. That's the process. That's the process that my friends at Razorpay are following. And right now, Razorpay is the most AI forward company in India. And again, their head of design is going to be on the podcast on the YouTube channel very soon. Okay. Sai Interface Anatomy. Again, if you want the recordings, we'll give them to you at a cost, but live cohort will happen 2-3 months later. Codex is all right. Codex is amazing. You just need one AI tool. Okay. Chalo. What about live recording? Yes, we have an LMS where you get everything. You get assignments, you submit them assignments. We do most of the feedback live, but I do give assignment feedback on the LMS. We believe live feedback so that your feedback can also be listened by other people. Interface anatomy recording, you have to tell Vansh is here. You have to fill the form. Once you get in touch with the team, once you are inside the cohort, then we will give you recordings at a discounted price. We don't just sell recordings like that. No. Our courses are very precious to us. We are not here ke 10,000 designers buy my courses. Nahi. Committed individuals. In fact, the most product design case studies are always changes on specific features. If you look at the case studies of any Zepto designer, PhonePe designers, so many of their case studies are just updates on a specific feature. In fact, in our interface anatomy, we actually, there's a friend of mine, young friend of mine, uh, we showed her case study. Her case study is the best case study in I have seen in my life. Okay. It is just one page का redesign case study and it is so in depth कि तुम लोग देख करके दिमाग खराब हो जाएगा कि यार एक पेज का केस स्टडी इतना बढ़िया कैसे हो सकता है. आकाश, सच्ची सच्ची बताना, कैन यू सेकंड देम? लोगों को लग रहा होगा मैं ब्रैग कर रहा हूँ. जानवी का केस स्टडी
सीरियसली बहुत अच्छा था लिटरली. हाँ, यस यस डेफिनेटली.
उसके जैसा केस स्टडी मैंने नहीं देखा. मैंने उतनी या मैंने उसके जैसे केस स्टडी आज तक नहीं देखी है. हम लोग पब्लिकली शेयर नहीं करते उसका, लेकिन कोई भी पब्लिकली किसी के पास है तो शेयर नहीं करना उसका. वेटिंग फॉर धुरंधर नेक्स्ट एपिसोड. यस ब्रो, आ रहा है बहुत जल्दी. ओके ओके. प्रोडक्ट एनाटॉमी कोर्स रिकॉर्डिंग रिलीज्ड व्हेन? प्रोडक्ट एनाटॉमी कोर्स का रिकॉर्डिंग, सी पब्लिकली वी विल नेवर, लाइक आई डोंट नो, मतलब 2026 में तो वी आर नेवर सेलिंग रिकॉर्डिंग्स ऑफ आवर कोर्सेज. People who are in one course, inside one course you can get the recording to other courses because our courses are connected. That's why we will give you access to recordings. Otherwise I don't want to make money just by selling recordings, at least not as of now. ठीक है. प्रोडक्ट एनाटॉमी का तो रिकॉर्डिंग में कभी दूंगा ही नहीं. इंटरफेस एनाटॉमी का तो मैं फिर भी दे सकता हूँ. प्रोडक्ट एनाटॉमी विल नेवर बी अवेलेबल. यस, वर्किंग पीपल के लिए है ये कोर्सेज. यस गाइस, आप देखो कोर्स में क्या है. It's a 10-week course. First 5 weeks are where we build the basics. But these are not ABCD basics. Okay? These are basics that are needed for you to become a designer at these top tier companies. That is why we don't, I never mentioned design thinking anywhere, right? I always mentioned product thinking, product thinking. बहुत बड़ा difference है product thinking में. ठीक है? तो our courses are built for industry professionals. That is why 60 to 70% of our students are professionals. We barely have 20% of our students who are actually college students. 10% of the people are who have left college but have not become a professional yet. So our courses have a 70 to 80% of industry professionals in them. That is why for product anatomy, first 5 weeks we'll have a lot of recording, and every week there will be one like 4 to 6 hour Q&A. That Q&A has no limit, by the way. Okay, it will happen once a week in weekend, so that any working professional can watch the recordings, do the assignment, attempt everything, and come to the live Q&A, get your work reviewed. Okay, in this last 5 weeks, which is week 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, we will be connecting 2 times live. Every session will be 3 hours, and we will be 90% of the times we will just be building stuff. I'll come with every day, I'll be coming up with new integration. My network went away. Am I audible, guys? Yeah, I was saying that we will even build agents. Okay, like Figma plugin, ये सब छोटा-छोटा चीज तो one shot हो जाता है, but we will even build agents. Rutvi is asking, is this course for beginners? I'll tell you. My courses are designed for professionals because they require a lot of commitment. ठीक है. अगेन आकाश के अलावा मैं किसी से बता दूं, चलो करण से ही बता देता हूं मैं. करण कैन यू टेल हमारा एवरेज असाइनमेंट करने में, स्टार्टिंग के 4 असाइनमेंट करने में भी, राइट, व्हाट डू यू थिंक एक एवरेज असाइनमेंट करने में कितने आवर का टाइम लगता था? लेक्चर 1, 2, 3 का कंपोनेंट वाला तो बहुत लंबा था हमारा।
सर ऑलमोस्ट लोगों को महीने लगे, मतलब बहुत लोग।
ठीक है, हमारा हमारे कुछ असाइनमेंट्स लोगों ने लास्ट तक फिनिश किए। तो रीजन बीइंग कि वी मेक कोर्सेज, क्या देखो, आई एम ओनली गोना टीच यू one thing, okay, and I'm going to teach you that in 100% detail that you need to know. You would never need to learn the topic again. You can only, update your knowledge. That is why any beginner can take it, provided they are ready to commit. If you are a beginner and you're like, I'll go to the class, sit at home, okay, somehow my portfolio will be building automatically, you won't be able to do it. My thing is, if I teach you for 2 hours, you have to go home and spend 10 hours. If you do that, you will be so far off that you would feel like a king in the industry in terms of skill. Okay? We don't promise people jobs. Why? Because we are a young company. Kuch din ruk jao. We are building something for jobs. We will solve the job market because we are not a academy. We are actually building so many products. Okay? Vansh is also here. You can think of Vansh as my co-founder also. Okay? So we are building so many products. One of those products is going to solve hiring also in India. Okay? That is why in our courses, we don't promise job guarantee. We promise skill guarantee. You will feel 100% confident on your skills if you have done all the assignments. That's all. Okay? Your projects will look polished. That's all. That's the promise. Okay? Is any full-fledged full-fledged product you build from scratch, as in me? हमारे 3 प्रोडक्ट बिल्ड हो रहे हैं, हमारे 3 प्रोडक्ट प्योरली वाइप कोड हो रहे हैं। ठीक है, अगले 2-3 मंथ में धीरे धीरे करके हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स लॉन्च होते रहेंगे, प्योरली वाइप कोड हो रहे हैं। ठीक है, प्योरली मीनिंग प्योरली ऐसा है। तो 1-2 नहीं, 3 प्रोडक्ट्स पे काम चल रहा है हमारा। ठीक है, अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री में है। How to buy interface anatomy recordings? Enroll in a course first, Devansh. You get one course and then you get access to recordings of the other course. Can we entire case study document of the product? What product needs? How do I solve? यार फजल मैं समझ नहीं पाया। Entire case study document मतलब यार देखो कि अगर if you are applying for good companies, right, they would want to know your end-to-end process. तो इसलिए you would need the whole document. Okay, I'll stop with the chat based questions, guys. अभी रुक जाना. Okay, rest of the questions तुम लोग ग्रुप में डाल देना, जितने भी तुम्हारे डाउट्स रह गए, I'll solve everything. ठीक है, Mihir and Prashant, quickly let's take your doubts and then I'll just review one project that somebody has shared. Mihir.
Yes, should I start? Yeah. So I think one of the things that we are like missing with the AI thing is that, let's say our designs are done and then it is PM approved and then engineering approved. So when are we doing the usability testing after enrolling or with the AI, or how are you doing at the PhonePe usability testing? Yeah.
Very good question. Okay. In AI based products, most people are using AI itself. You simulate your persona as roles and behaviors, so you can build specific skills. Okay, that's the process most people are following. If I have 5 personas, I have researched. You will have to do research to polish your persona. Okay, but once you have a persona, you can document that persona as a skill in your Claude code or as a rule in your cursor. Okay, and then just trigger that, and then AI itself will become that persona and give you some usability testing feedback. Right now, very few people are actually going ahead and giving their product to real people before the launch. People are doing closed group testing. People are doing beta testing. So they'll build it and then they'll invite real user 50, 100, 500. Okay, that's AB, right? That's like production grade AB. Usability testing is only being done, at least in my knowledge, okay, by simulating AI roles.
Okay.
And it's really accurate, by the way. I'll tell you this. Yeah. It is actually so good right now. 2024 में बहुत बेकार था, 2025 में बहुत बेकार था, ठीक है? In 2026 it is so good.
Yeah. So one of the problem that, like, I also do this usability testing with the AI and that persona that you mentioned. But one of the thing is that AI never stops. Let's say if you let's say AI suggests 10 changes, we do this and then again upload any screen, then he again suggests 10 new things. So AI never stops improving. So at which point we should like stop and then it is ready for the enrollment, or that is a main question.
I think that's the role of humans, right? That's the role
Hmm.
that we have. Okay, that is why a person who can't do something without AI can't do that thing with AI.
Yeah.
Which means just because you have AI does not mean you can keep on infinitely improving a screen. You still
Hmm.
need to have subjective and objective knowledge of how you would have done that thing without AI.
Yeah.
That is why humans are needed. Okay, that is why we need much better experts with AI than you need without AI. People feel ke with AI even dumb people can make shit. Yes, dumb people can make shit, but dumb people make dumb shit with AI. Okay, experts. I'll tell you this: people who are unaware of how to do designing are creating design at a much faster pace than people with a designer like me with 10 years of experience. Why? Because I have so many things in my head. I'm like, okay, you know what? Let me do this also. Let me do this also. That's why I'm producing slow. People who have no clue, they are every single day they wake up and they're like, designers are cooked. Look what I made it as a designer, right? So it's like dumb people make dumb shit with AI. You need to have much more understanding of things if you're going to work with AI. Why did I make product thinking, design thinking, and also business fluency as part of this course? Is there any boot camp that you guys have seen जिसमें business fluency पे 2 week का module हो? Right? Nobody teaches business fluency to designers. Why? Right? But I know that you need it. I don't want to produce designers for Chandu Institute of Chandu Designers Limited. I want to produce designers for Razorpay, Claude, etc. ठीक है, like Razorpay, Zepto, PhonePe, and I know their designers are so smart. ठीक है, they talk like PM. यज नाम नहीं लेने का, सब रिकॉर्डिंग जा रहा है, ठीक है, गंदी बात है, आई डोंट नो. ठीक है, मैंने किसी का कोहॉर्ट नहीं लिया भाई, बट आई नो के there is a reason that most people don't have their don't have business fluency in their cohorts. A lot of the people did not learn it properly. A lot of the people can't teach it properly. Okay, me being an entrepreneur from 4 years, okay, I've been a very entrepreneur for a really long time. That's why I think I have slightly better business fluency than an average designer. That's why I know that it is important to be taught. And now that I'm a full-fledged entrepreneur, I can actually teach you everything from experience. Okay, that this part matters, this part does not matter. I'm building live products. I'm building 3 products in one go. Okay, so AI के साथ में you need a lot more. You need to be a much better designer with AI. Okay, Jamin. Jamin, पहले तो अपने नाम का full pronunciation बता दो मेरे को.
Jamin Gagia.
Jamin Gagia, ठीक है.
Okay, so Rajat, I wanted to ask that जो भी हम AI से output निकलवाएंगे, how can we make sure that it is up to the mark? Because मैंने आपके जैसा similar tools generate करवाए because I was too lazy to generate 5 copies for all personas. And some of those copies were not up to the mark. Some of them had some mistakes. And उसमें तो मैंने और थोड़े rules डाल दिए. But then उसने मेरे को illustrations के लिए भी guidelines दी थी. But that prompt was too small और उससे जो illustrations generate हुए वो इतने भी अच्छे नहीं थे.
Yeah.
So how
I
can
think
we
the
do that?
answer is same that I gave to Mihir also. Okay, if you don't know how to do it without AI, you will struggle to do it with AI. So Apple did a video on copywriting in their WWDC, I think 2021 or 2022. Okay, it's a copywriting framework. Okay, it's called PACE, PACE framework for copywriting.
Okay.
ठीक है, अब तुम्हारा इंप्रूव कर जाएगा कॉपी. अब तुम एआई को बोल देना फॉलो पेस फ्रेमवर्क फॉर कॉपी राइटिंग, सडनली इंप्रूव हो जाएंगे कॉपी. ठीक है, स्पेशली ये यूआई की कॉपी के लिए. बाय द वे, हम तो अभी मार्केटिंग कॉपी जनरेट कर रहे हैं, बट चूंकि हमारा कॉपी भी थोड़ा सा ट्रांजैक्शनल है, दैट इज व्हाई वी कैन एक्चुअली, आई वुड से, वी कैन स्टिल हैव दैट एंगल, राइट? बट अगेन, नाउ दैट यू नो ओ पेस फ्रेमवर्क ऐसा होता है, अब यू कैन एक्चुअली गो अहेड एंड लर्न पेस फ्रेमवर्क योरसेल्फ, so that you can also evaluate AI का output. ठीक है, and just this one change will suddenly improve your copywriting. ठीक है, and if you enroll into a Product Anatomy, you will get to know 50 such frameworks. Like, share, comment, subscribe, guys.
Okay, thank you.
right? I mean, you understand, right? This is exactly how it's supposed to be done. You're not supposed to just say to Claude ke do it. You're supposed to tell to Claude, do it this way, exactly step by step. ऐसे करना है. ठीक है?
Okay, got it.
Thank you, भाई. Prashant. Prashant. Oh yeah, Prashant is turning on the camera also. क्या? हाँ प्रशांत, यस, कैमरा तो ऑन हो चुका है, ऑडियो भी ऑन नहीं हुआ है. या स्मिथ भाई, इतने सारे क्वेश्चन है. What if the code is not scalable? Bro, we are building the step 1 for designers. Okay, there is a difference between coding and engineering. Engineers will take care of the scale. Scale is engineering. We are not doing engineering. We are creating UI. UI does not have to be scalable. ठीक है, फ्रंट एंड में थिंग्स लाइक एपीआई आर्किटेक्चर वो अभी भी डेवलपर्स ही करेंगे. हम सिर्फ HTML CSS एंड बेसिक UI लिख करके दे रहे हैं उनको. हमने इंजीनियरिंग करना नहीं शुरू किया है. ठीक है. थॉट्स ऑन लर्निंग सिस्टम डिजाइन फॉर डिजाइनर्स नाउ बहुत ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है. एंड as of now I did not include it as part of the curriculum because I never learned system design. I'm not an expert on system design, right? I've read books on system design but I have not practiced it as a professional. That's why I did not include it. इतनी तो मतलब ह्यूमिलिटी में है मेरे अंदर में कि नहीं आता है जो तो नहीं पढ़ा रहा हूं मैं, बट मुझे पता है इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सो व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू राइट नाउ इज आई एम ट्राइंग टू साइमल्टेनियसली बिल्ड दैट स्किल. I have invested, I'll tell you this, chalo, in this cohort, I'll tell you, I have invested in a course with a product manager. He's actually a very big design leader, where I have paid them 2.27 lakh rupees for 5 live sessions and some recordings. I've paid them already. My course is beginning on 9th June. Okay? My course. I'll be taking those classes. Now those are there so that I can also constantly fill in the gaps. ठीक है? तो वो हार्डकोर प्रोडक्ट थिंकिंग का कोर्स है. आकाश, नो. ठीक है, ओनली OG पीपल नो इट. यू माइट नो इट, अगर तुम यूट्यूब पे अच्छे पॉडकास्ट देखते हो तो यू वुड नो इट, बट इट्स अ ग्लोबल डिजाइन लीडर, ग्लोबल प्रोडक्ट लीडर, वेरी वेल नोन मतलब गाय इन द प्रोडक्ट इंडस्ट्री. ठीक है, तो इट्स लाइक सिस्टम डिजाइन भी धीरे धीरे करके पॉलिश हो जाएगा. तो मतलब यस, लेनिस पॉडकास्ट आई मतलब ट्राई टू कवर इट इन अ स्किल, बट ऐसा नहीं होगा कि मैं सिस्टम डिजाइन पढ़ाने लगूं. नहीं, इट्स अ वेरी एकेडमिक टॉपिक. ठीक है, बट हाँ, हम सिस्टम डिजाइन करने की कोशिश जरूर करते हैं. ठीक है, कि थिंक होलिस्टिकली, थिंक अबाउट द ओवरऑल इकोसिस्टम डायग्राम बना लिया, इकोसिस्टम मैप बना करके चीजें करने की कोशिश जरूर करते हैं. नाम नहीं बताऊंगा मैं, ना 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 ना, मैं अपना थोड़ा अपना भी तो मैं वो बचा करके रखूंगा ना, अपना मोड थोड़ा सा. ऐसे कैसे, मैं नहीं बता रहा किसी का नाम. तुम लोग अपने मेंटर का नाम प्लीज बताना जरूर सबको. तुम लोग सबको रजत पटेल नाम जरूर बताना. ओके. ओह यस सुरभि, इट इज श्रेयस दोषी का कोर्स. यस सुरभि भाई, सुरभि इंटरनेट के सही एरियाज में हैंग आउट कर रही है. Good, Surbhi. Okay, guys, let me quickly screen share and review the assignment that I have in front of me. Okay, let's see. And this is like without AI. I thought we would be doing it with AI, but let's just see. So, reducing the fear of making mistakes by telling them they have small money. Yes, okay. So you have a graphic. Diwali specific theme ही है, बहुत अच्छा है. Start small, 100 rupees per month. Your future self will thank you. Yes, I can. Yeah, the moment I see this line, I know this copy is generated with AI. Perfect है, सही जा रहा है, लिखा तो सही है. ठीक है, set up gold SIP. Okay, then using copy like this Diwali to bring. Okay, this Diwali gold that grows. Okay, persona कौन सा है ये? persona नहीं पता इसमें चल रहा है मुझे अभी. If I can understand the persona, it would be so much better. Abhimanyu, Thinking in Systems is the Donella Meadows, I think is the name of the writer. That's the only book I've read on systems thinking. It is really good. Absolute recommended. Okay. Yeah. ठीक है, copy अच्छा है, but there is one construct. Okay. Who sent this, by the way? Can you please comment that this is your design? I want to talk to you. Saket Joshi. ठीक है, Saket bhai, I can see that you feel like you're a young designer. ठीक है. In terms of this one screen, you have built it very well, I would say. मतलब visuals पे नहीं जाएंगे because the goal is first to understand. अरे ऐश ऐसी बातें नहीं करनी होती है. ठीक है, अभी हमने प्रोडक्ट कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट ही नहीं फिक्स किया है, तो हम वकैग पे तो जाएंगे ही नहीं अभी. प्रोडक्ट कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट प्रोडक्ट थिंकर बनो. कैसी तुमने यूआई डिजाइनर वाली बातें करी, देखो गलत बात. ऐश यूआई डिजाइनर बातें करते हैं ऐसी. प्रोडक्ट कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट फर्स्ट. ठीक है. सो कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट वाइज दिस इज द सेम स्क्रीन दैट वी हैव, बाय द वे. ठीक है. इट्स जस्ट दैट मतलब ही अप्रोच्ड इट विजुअली डिफरेंट व्हिच कैन बी चेंज्ड. कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट अगर गलत हो गया तो विजुअल कितने भी अच्छे होते हैं, एक्सेसिबिलिटी कितनी भी अच्छी होती है, इट वुडंट हैव मैटर्ड. दैट्स व्हाई. ठीक है. तो दिस construct is very good. ठीक है साकित, this is really good. अरे भाई सात्विक, ओ भाई तुम लोग इंटरनेट पे रील्स में कमेंट सेक्शन में तबाही मचा देते होगे ना जाकर के. है ना, तुम ही लोग के कमेंट्स होते हैं जिनमें 10-10 हजार लाइक्स होते हैं. ओ भाई चलो ठीक है. ये सही जा रहा है. यहाँ पर ये क्या है, बाय डिजिटल गोल्ड. ओके. साकेत, कैन यू अनम्यूट?
Am I audible?
Yeah.
The frame name is the persona.
Oh, I did not see. That's my bad. Correct. First time buyer के लिए है, festive buyer के लिए है. Okay. Anxious planner के लिए है, optimizer के लिए है. ठीक है. ठीक है.
This was the level 1.
या ठीक है. फिर उसके बाद में लेवल 2 क्या है? AI असिस्टेड में आप चले गए हो. ओके. वेरिएशन ए, सिंपलीसिटी, फोकस, वेरिएशन, इलस्ट्रेशन, वेरिएशन ए भी किधर पे है?
नहीं बनाए नहीं है, मतलब मैंने सिर्फ ये सोचा था कि
ठीक है,
अगर AI असिस्टेड बनाना है तो क्या वेरिएशंस हम रख सकते हैं, जो हम
सही है.
प्रॉम्प्ट्स क्या रख सकते हैं.
या फिर ठीक है. मैं एकदम मैं ढूंढने से लगा था. ठीक है. दिस ओके. ठीक है, सही जा रहा है. अ ग्लोइंग सिंप्लीफाइड डिजिटल वॉल्ट इज वेरिएशन ए, अ ट्रेडिशनल दिवाली दिया. ठीक है. एक चीज बताता हूँ, पता है इतना लिटरल हमें कभी भी नहीं जाना होता है. ठीक है. लाइक व्हेनेवर यू आर गोइंग फॉर अ विजुअल डायरेक्शन, इतना लिटरल अगर आप चले जाओगे तो यू विल, rather than creating interest, people will lose interest. Because imagine this, in Diwali time, people are seeing this diya on every single platform, on every single app that they are opening. Okay? That is why even if when we are going for a visual direction, okay, thoda sa nuances, we are not changing the product entirely, we are trying to theme the product in a way that it becomes relevant for the festival. Okay. Plus, if you are investing so much in this, we would want to use this after Diwali by tweaking a few things. Okay. Because we've built up such a big construct, we should be able to just, like, we can just stop generating Diwali specific messages, right? And then still be able to use this after Diwali. That is how you think about scalable things, right? Thoda systems thinking bhi hone laga. Okay. So I would say that's why this visual direction is not good. Construct wise direction is the same, right? The one that I had. So it's literally in the same direction. I would say one more thing is that the way I have planned the overall onboarding and completed the journey, or at least linked it ke how long will the onboarding exist and when does the actual transactional flow start, right? Which is the screen where they start making payment. If you had done it for even one persona na, then you would be much more clearer. Okay, how is the actual experience going to be for the user? Okay, right now it feels like, okay, I would be on the PhonePe app, I would see this option maybe somewhere as a banner on a thank you screen, or I'll click on that option, then I'll see this screen, right? And then I'm supposed to make a decision just based on the contents of this screen. Okay? Right now, if you see, there is that aspect of conviction is still missing here because it is extremely small, right? We have only put in one intervention, right? But in the flows that I have, where I have actually put in multiple interventions, right? And that's why they were good. Look at this. That's why they have higher probability of working. I'm not saying कि वो एकदम kill कर देगा, right? But they have higher probability because imagine this. I'm priming the user, then I know that they would have more doubts. In that first step, I'm just getting them into the onboarding journey by showing them an extremely relatable message. I'm pulling them in the onboarding journey so that if people are not interested in this message, right, at this stage, they are definitely not going to be interested in this stage. Okay, so some people will back off from here. I'm okay with it, right? People who do get interested by seeing this screen, I know what they need to see next. Maybe something like this, right? So now I'm inputting, right? I'm actually putting more and more conviction in them. Okay, so that eventually by the time they are reaching here, they're kind of completely sorted on this. Okay, and again, abhi bhi I on this, see, I still am not showing them ki, oh, tell me kitna paisa, right? I'm just asking them one step at a time. Even here, they don't have to commit. They can just see what will happen, right? They can come until here and still back off. But I have been able to get them until the step number 4. If they back off from here, 2 things are going to happen. They are interested, but not ready to commit. They are not interested at all, and they were just playing around. Okay? If they were just playing around and then they bounce off, it's okay. I can maybe avoid them for now. But people who were interested, but they are not ready to commit, the next time they come in this lapsed user journey, we can start them. We already know कि वो कितना commit करने के लिए ready था, right? We already know the amount that they were ready to commit. Okay, so we will start them from there, and this is the amount that they selected, so they'll have that familiarity. They can change amount, resume the setup. Okay, now they can commit because they came until here. Now I know that they don't need to be started from scratch, right? They don't need to be kind of primed from scratch. They again reached here second time. If that person was not primed, they wouldn't have come here. Okay, so it's like here the system is slightly more holistic, more planned. Okay, but I would say what you have done is you have taken the step number 1 in the correct direction. Okay, visuals कभी भी change हो जाते हैं, समझ रहा है? Visuals पे फीडबैक देना इज लाइक बहुत ही बेसिक चीज होती है. विजुअल के बारे में सोचना, अभी नहीं अच्छा लग रहा है, कल को चेंज कर देंगे, अभी चेंज कर देंगे, 2 घंटे में चेंज कर देंगे, राइट? कॉन्स्ट्रक्ट समझ में आ रहा है या नहीं? हम थिंकिंग वाइज आर वी एबल टू बिल्ड the right construct or not? That's the core here. Okay, make sense? Any follow-up questions or something?
No, I got it.
Okay, I hope the session was helpful for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, chalo. Thank you
you.
so much, yaar. Jamin also wants to jam. यार Jamin को jam वाले jokes कितने सुनने को मिलते होंगे ना, मैंने भी मार दिया. Very bad teacher I am. I'm not a bully, Jamin. I'm really sorry. हो जाता है कभी कभी थोड़ा सा. यारी दोस्ती में इतना तो चलता है गाइस, है ना? वी आर फ्रेंड्स हियर. चलो, फोन पे गोल्ड एसआईपी, यस. प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट, यस. यंग बायर, सीकर्स, द फेस्टिव बायर, ऑप्टिमाइजर, ओके. फंक्शनल इमोशनल सोशल, बहुत बढ़िया. फंक्शनल इमोशनल सोशल, ओके. सिक्योरिटी सीकर वांट्स टू बी अ सीन एज अ रिस्पांसिबल पार्टनर, ठीक है. आई एम अज्यूमिंग कि हाँ आपने एआई वाला कॉपी ही लिया है, सॉरी पर्सोना ही लिया है, तो पर्सोना मैं नहीं पढ़ रहा हूँ. High SIP literacy, low SIP literacy, low SIP literacy, high SIP literacy. Okay. Yeah, identifying friction for each persona. ठीक है, friction भी कर लिया आपने. Personas can be easily identified and categorized, but data phone पे might have. Yes. Perfect. Very good. Very good. ठीक है. For the other 2, I need to ask questions during onboarding. Okay, so you have gone on the route of asking questions during the onboarding. ठीक है. System design, the whole onboarding will be divided into slides. Jamin, are you a design college student?
No. I'm an engineering student.
Oh, interesting. ठीक है. You use system design in a slide ना, तो मुझे ऐसा लगा कि
हाँ.
but then that means you've been putting in effort in learning design. Good. The whole onboarding. So this, okay, this, yeah. Each slide follows a single format. For example, slide 1 is designed to capture users' attention by using AI to personalize a copy for a specific target group. Yes. This is the hook, and this is the objection handling. Ah, interesting. Very correct direction, Jamin. Very correct direction. Good going. Okay. So this, yes, this. By the way, this is exactly how Claude was generating my design initially. It had the same component.
I actually got inspired
Ah.
from Revolut's component. They had these same patterns.
This is a very, very popular construct also.
Yeah.
Very popular construct. Huh? Only because I know that PhonePe is using that specific component. So I know PhonePe users also might have seen that component.
Mhm.
Right? So they are familiar in it. That's why I chose that component. Otherwise, aesthetic to ye lagta hai. I would have also gone with this.
But दोनों functional है ना, like.
Yeah, 100%. See, as long as you're able to, I'll tell you this. The difference between this component and that component is I don't know what's coming. I don't know what's pending. Okay? That's why this. So this is designed for completion.
Oh.
Right? You
Yeah.
don't need to know ki kya bacha hua hai. You don't need to know what's pending. Quickly, just do what I'm saying. It's designed for completion.
Yeah.
There, you know this step. Okay, after this, I have to do this step because you're seeing the title of the next step.
Mm.
Okay, I did not implement it correctly. Here in the final design, I would be showing you every single step and the marker and the copy for that step, right? Okay, this verification, that is designed for conviction.
Mm.
Okay, because the copy and that is you're taking informed decisions at every step of the way. So I'm kind of instilling trust in you, right? I'm elevating you and then taking you towards the journey. Here, you're just navigating a blind, dark road.
Yeah.
ठीक है? कितना मस्त connect हुआ ना?
Yeah.
Yeah. ठीक है? This. So wait, this is the screen number 1. Yeah. Then your mutual funds chase growth. Gold doesn't hold value when growth. Growth holds value when growth disappears. Amazing. ठीक है? ये चला गया. Okay. And यहाँ पर आप बोल रहे हो this is something I came up with at the last moment. The idea is that increase average SIP value by helping users visualize how much gold they could. Ah. Oh ho, jamming. You be jamming, bro. Increase the average. बहुत ही बढ़िया. This is the kind of interesting ideas we are looking for. This is when product thinking meets design thinking. This is when you have delight. Very good. Very simple nudge. If I had actually had actually built this is like exactly like gold has to be visualized.
Yeah.
But you visualize it differently for different persona.
हाँ.
किसी के लिए मंदिर में कॉइन जा रहा है, किसी के लिए खड़खड़ खड़खड़ की आवाजें आ रही है, राइट? यंग बंदे के लिए you show that क्या बोलते हैं उसको, that casino वाला sound, right?
Ah, yes.
Coins ka ching 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 ching, that sound, right? So it's like there's so many customization, personalization levers that we can pull. Okay, very good going, very good. Jamming ki jai ho. Good quality audience. Okay, very good. Also happens usually. Okay. Which kind of users was this for?
Actually आपके 6 personas थे ना, तो मैं थोड़ा confused हो गया, तो मैंने 2 merge कर दिए.
Okay, got it. But now you have
This is
understood the
one,
structure correctly, right?
This is for young buyers.
ठीक है. So construct is good, right? You have a hook, you have an objection handling screen. बहुत ही बढ़िया. ठीक है. This means you used AI correctly. You did the right research. Very good. And then you have us. This is interesting because you actually found a way to make users visualize the amount of gold, right, before they commit.
Yeah.
That's why this is a very genius step, right? You can create different visualizations for people, and they can actually imagine different levels of gold before they commit. अब मेरे को मजा आएगा. अब मैं इसको बढ़ा करके, oops, oh, this is my reaction, by the way. This is my reaction for you. Yes, very good, right? I would love to play with it, right?
Yeah.
I would love to play and see कि मैं कितना gold हो सकता है. And this is conviction wala step. Absolute gem. right? You instill conviction. This is priming also, right? कि perfect priming है बेटे, अब तुम छोड़ के जा रहे हो तो देख लो, you're leaving gold on the table. Amazing, very good. Good sound engineer with good design, a fab project. Yes, Jatin. ठीक है, चलो बहुत ही बढ़िया था, मजा ही आया मुझे तो. Very good यार. ठीक है, चलो guys, now we should start to wrap up. It's been 2.5 hours. ठीक है, I don't want to kind of exhaust you guys, but all the 150 people who are here, you guys are going to be very good designers in future. My blessings from you, regardless of my blessings for you, right? Regardless of you take product anatomy or not. Okay, keep attending the sessions, keep enjoying design. Okay, लाइक शेयर कमेंट सब्सक्राइब भी करते रहना, मॉलिक्यूल को फॉलो भी करते रहना. ठीक है, प्लीज. ठीक है, एट द वेरी लीस्ट मतलब इतना करते रहना. देखो जितना ज्यादा मेरे को तुम बड़ा बनाओगे ना, मेरे को उतना मजा आएगा, तो मैं उतनी वर्कशॉप्स करूंगा. लेटली आई हैव बीन वेरी बिजी इन काइंड ऑफ कोर्स, क्योंकि वी एक्चुअली हैड अ वेरी फास्ट पेस कोर्स. 5 वीक में वी यूज्ड टू हैव 3 सेशंस अ वीक. दैट्स व्हाई थोड़ा सा एग्जॉस्टिंग हो जाता था. बट लेट मी टेक अ फोटो विद यू गाइस. ओके, चलो 1 सेकेंड. LinkedIn moment है यार. ठीक है, एंड आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइस के देखो, देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स दैट आई हैड टू स्किप. ठीक है, because it had to be fit into the window. If you guys want to be shown in the photo, please turn your cameras and all. It would be lovely. Okay, you guys can do M. Okay, do this M on camera. This is molecule Moladis M. Okay, we are molecule, we are Moladis also. Let me take a screenshot and then I'll take a picture. Okay, ready? 1 2 3. Oops, मैं नहीं कर सकता, but okay, ready? 1 2 3. Yes. Okay, now ठीक है, I'll take a small story. Guys, M karna now. Okay, yes, project thinking workshop number 2 is over. We have 150 people after 2.5 hours. Amazing audience here, amazing audience, man. Yes, मजा आ गया. ठीक है, I hope you guys also loved it. If you guys have any doubt still about product anatomy, you should fill the form, talk to the team, text Vansh. ठीक है, you guys should be in communities also. किसी से भी community से किसी भी बंदे को राज Vansh, you can text them. I'll only tell you one thing. Everybody who has taken our courses on interface anatomy has said one thing, and that is that course has been the best investment they had made on themselves of that year. Okay, I'll promise you this: if you actually take this course, it's going to be costly. Okay, but in 2 years, this course will return you at least 10x value in 2 years, not immediately. In 2 years, this course will help you get at least 3 to 4 lakh rupees of extra income, because you will have more skills. You'll be able to negotiate better salary, do better work, not just as a full-time designer, but also as a freelance designer. ठीक है, क्योंकि builders में freelance में बहुत काम है. ठीक है, तो if you come to the course, 10x value guaranteed in the next 2 years. ठीक है, चलो बाकी it was fun. ठीक है, तुम लोगों ने, बहुत सारे लोगों ने कैमरास ऑन करके रखे हैं. आई लव पीपल हु कीप देयर कैमरास ऑन. ठीक है, कीर्ति, डू यू वांट टू से एनीथिंग? You have been smiling through and through the session.
No, just I'm amazed by your cohort in this workshop, and I'm just learning new things. And I'm right now working in a company, and I have just built a product also right now. So I'm learning new things, how to go through this process. I use the AI, but not in the way you have told.
And trust me, I'll tell you, आकाश और करण, मेरे अभी 2 बच्चे तो यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हैं. और भी कोई है क्या जिसका मैं नाम भूल रहा हूँ? मतलब जिसको, any of my cohort students, raise your hand guys. My cohort students. मिहिर तो cohort में नहीं? मिहिर नहीं है. हाँ, करण, आकाश is here. और कौन है? और कोई नहीं है. वंश भी. अक्षत is here. Oh, Aditi Kathait is also here. See, मेरे students हैं. तो वो ये है कि हम अपनी बेस्ट वैल्यू कोहॉर्ट में ही रखते हैं. so that people who are paying us more money get a lot more value. Yes, मयूर तो है ही. yes, right. But again, we are trying our best के जितना हो सके एक बढ़िया पैकेज दे सकूं मैं. Please go back and rewatch both of these videos. ठीक है, the one part, the second part, I'll send you more resources on the group if you are in the workshop group. ठीक है, मैं एक एक करके डॉक्यूमेंट करके मैं भेज दूंगा, वो भी उनको भी करना आराम से. उसके बाद में once you are convinced that yeah, this is the year you want to level up, then you come to product anatomy. ठीक है, if you, and I would recommend to pro plan to everybody. If you can afford it, please go for pro plan because base plan is good. बट प्रो प्लान में जब वो एआई से बिल्ड करोगे ना चीजें, तब तुम्हें लगेगा कि हाँ 4 हाथ हो गए मेरे. ठीक है, तभी मजा है, इसलिए. ठीक है, बाकी चलो, दैट्स इट फ्रॉम माय साइड गाइस. ठीक है, वंस वी कैन स्टॉप द रिकॉर्डिंग. इट वाज सो मच फन. ठीक है, मुझे तो मजा आ गया. ठीक है, लेट्स मीट सम टाइम सून इन सम अदर सेशन. ठीक है, थैंक यू सो मच श्रीनिधि, थैंक यू सो मच. बाय बाय गाइस, बाय बाय, सी यू